Oh, and now all my cameras are turned off. What is up with that? This is the Simpit. I don't know if you can hear me, and nothing wants to work right now all of a sudden for some reason. We are here for Hotlap Humpday. I am going to continue announcing as I try to get my cameras turned on. I'm not sure. Oh, I think I know what went wrong now. Bear with me. We had some technical difficulties getting everything up and running. And give me one more moment, and I should be able to get this going, I hope. No, it's gonna... I might have to restart the stream, you guys. What is up with that? Bear with me, everyone. We are having some minor technical difficulties here as we try to figure out. Let's try just do it. No, still doesn't want to do it, huh? Alright, let's try that again. This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Shaun Cole, and welcome to this month's edition of Hotlap Humpday, sponsored by Ricmo, presented by Ricmotech, I should say. And sorry for the late start on things, and luckily everyone has plenty of time, and they should be pretty well versed at the track that we're running this month, that being Road Atlanta in two of the GT3 cars. So here we are getting a late start. Very, very sorry about that. We had a couple little hiccups, one of them being me, one of them being YouTube, one of them being OBS in the end. But we got it all up and running. Oh, my Zoom's not perfect. A few things aren't perfect on the stream. But the most important and most critical things are here, which means I'm here along with Kevin Ford of Extreme Motorsports. Kevin Ford, how are you?
Hey, buddy, how are you? Doing great, and welcome back to the Hotlap Humpday, guys. Here we are, round 6 tonight, and again at Road Atlanta. Track everybody knows, grab those keys and head out to Road Atlanta tonight. We're going to have some fun here in the Hotlap Humpday Challenge. We have a few guests tonight, too, don't we, Shaun?
We do. Of course, Robby Unser, who is here every Hotlap Humpday. Robby, how you doing today?
Very good. How are you guys?
Good. What are your thoughts on Road Atlanta?
It's in the southeast. It's usually humid there.
Oh, smart guy.
It'll be a good track. I mean, it's one of the oldest and best road courses, so it should be fun.
Awesome. And then, in addition, I think Frank's probably in here as well. Frank Rico?
I am here, yes.
Frank Rico, thank you for presenting or hosting or putting on these awesome events. You know I love doing our Hot Lap special events where no one knows the car, no one knows the track. You always throw something fun at us and put on a great show. So thank you, Frank.
Sure, of course.
And then, a voice you haven't heard at Hot Lap Pump Day. We have a very, very special guest, that being Brian Heitkotter. Brian Heitkotter was a GT Academy winner who went on to race a career with Nissan Racing and other teams, and to this day is a real life and sim racing pro, and one of the best guys you'll ever meet, one of the best sim racers, real life drivers you're ever going to meet, and he's here out on track with us, having a good time doing Hot Lap Hump Day. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Thank you, Shaun. Yeah, good to be here. Good to hear your voice again after a few years.
Yeah, it's been a while for you and I. We've met and we've hung out and done things, and yeah, it's been a long time, probably 10 years.
Yeah, sounds about right, yeah.
So, and your thoughts at Road Atlanta? Have you been here? Have you driven here?
I drove here once, 2014, in a front-wheel drive Altima.
Well, this will be a little bit different.
This will be a little different.
Interesting.
But, the fun part with that Altima was the car was crazy loose in qualifying, so I was drifting every corner on the track whether I wanted to or not. So that was a memory at Road Atlanta.
Wow. All right. Well, this one should be pretty stable, I think. I would think. So I'm looking forward to this. I always love GT3 cars, so I know we have some ringers who are going to show up, some very fast drivers going to be here today. Kevin, what is our format for today's event?
Well, let's see. Today's format, we are actually going to run as we did last month, except we are going to take 12 cars into that final event. We will have, so that's, we're going to have a dozen out there. We're going to reverse grid those top 10 for the second race again tonight. So looking forward to that. We'll have about 2 hours and 4 minutes, I guess, for qualifying here to get locked into the top. Let's see, we're taking the top 20 tonight, I believe. Yeah, we are taking the top 20 this evening into round one of the 2 heat races tonight. So we've got our first heat race will be the top 20 on the leaderboard. So we want to get those drivers up into the fastest times up there. Once you've reached the top 20 on the board and you feel you're pretty secure there, then you have found yourself into race 1 tonight. Race 1 will end. We will take the top 12 from there. We will reverse the top 10 for our final feature race tonight, which is always very exciting. Of course, again, as you mentioned, we're driving our GT3 cars tonight, the 2 newest to hit the iRacing platform here recently. The BMW GT3 car came out last build, which would have been, I believe, around the first of the year, Shaun. And, of course, it wasn't quite completed, as iRacing mentioned in their release notes. And, of course, on this next build, as they promised, quite a few changes to the car. And we're putting that car up against the Porsche tonight. So the Porsche will be, I think, Elvis just sent me a note there. Yeah, I believe it was 2 seasons ago that BMW came out. So, yeah, we've got a lot of big changes to that car tonight. And, of course, going up against the new Porsche that just came out. That's right, the GT3R coming to iRacing. So now that makes quite a large count of GT3 cars out on iRacing. So this should be pretty fun tonight to see these 2 cars pitted against each other as drivers battle to get into that top 20.
Awesome. Robby, which car did you pick?
The Beamer.
Beamer.
What did you pick?
I took the Porsche. You don't like Porsches, huh? You're anti-Porsche, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we were talking. Well, no, not really anti-Porsche, but
that'd be a terrible thing to say.
Kevin talked me into the other one, so and I didn't know you picked a Porsche, so there I am.
I haven't driven it yet, so I was like, oh, cool opportunity. Brian, which one did you pick? I'm sure he's here. Elvis?
Yep.
Is Elvis here? Do we know what Elvis took?
No. Elvis.
I bet you he picked a Porsche. No one else.
No one else.
Yeah, I did. I got some some professional advice, and I was told to take the Porsche, so I took the Porsche.
Okay. All right.
So
and Robby,
so
Robby got some unprofessional advice.
To me, and
I didn't listen to you. I listened to some of our professional guys at Apex Racing Team. What to take.
No, but I'm saying that you heard me and Kevin talking about it, and you didn't put in your 2 cents.
Yeah, see.
I didn't get my 2 cents. I didn't ask my questions until that conversation came up, so I did not know what to say.
Gotcha. Uh-huh.
So
he wasn't going to look out.
I'll give it to you. Okay.
Right. I love it.
So the last thing I'm going to say before I hit the track is that the password is right there on the bottom of the screen. If you'd like to join us, you just need that password. But here's the important thing. We have learned this. Since we are already in qualifying conditions, you actually need to use the new user interface at iRacing. Old interface doesn't see rooms once they've moved to qualifying, but you can still join us with that password at any time before our final event. Post time, getting that top 12, I think Kevin said it is, and you'll be on to the final. So, I probably have too much fuel. I only need to run enough fuel for our events.
How long is it tonight?
Two 15-minute sprint races. And you guys should be turning about a 1:27-ish lap time with weather conditions. We were just here. No, to be faster than that. We were just here in the GT4 class last Monday night for the season finale of the Ricmotech sports car series, actually, this past Monday. And they were turning 1:27 lap times. GT3 here, probably going to be a couple of seconds quicker than that. So about 1:25, I'm thinking.
Is the track green?
Yes, track is green. Track is green. So tonight's password, I believe Shaun has that posted here. well is SimMagic. Yeah, one of the latest products coming from Ricmotech. SimMagic, that's SIMAGIC. And Frank, speaking of SimMagic, you'd like to share a little information about SimMagic?
Sure. So in partnership with Extreme Sim Racing, a company out of Brazil, they are a SimMagic dealer and have extended that dealership to us. And then we are also now the authorized repair center in the U.S. For SimMagic. So any SimMagic
And
product.
what does it do?
It's a direct drive steering system.
Okay.
And so they do a direct drive steering system. Right now they have 2 models out. They're going to be launching a full ecosystem, so they'll be adding pedals, shifter, handbrake, several other rims to go with it. But at the moment they offer 2 direct drive bases and 2 different steering wheels that will work with. And very reasonably priced as well. So it's a nice option.
Very nice. Very nice. This certainly is, another addition to quite a broad line of direct drive wheels that you have.
Yeah, so now we have our own mini mic that we created, that we build out. In addition to, we have the Leo Bodner Sim Series direct drive system. We've had that for several years now. We are a dealer for SimiCube, as well as now SimMagic. So 4 different brands of direct drive systems. So anybody that has any questions on it, our guys here can kind of give you the lowdown on what's better for what, budget-based, and type of driving. So they all have their advantages and disadvantages, and I just like being able to have that wide an offering, so that customers can find exactly what's the best.
Absolutely. Yeah, having that diversity obviously gives the opportunity for you to broaden a selection for your customer base. It's interesting watching these direct drive wheels now coming into the market and it's in their own diversity. Different features on them and different price points, obviously across the gamut. So, tell me about belt wheels. We all have quite a history, starting out with belt wheels or even like helical gear wheels. Those platforms, do you think in the future those are still going to be a viable product in the market?
I think so. They'll still exist and they'll still be viable, and the technology on those will get better. They're just much more affordable, kind of bang for buck, and they're more of a consumer, kind of an entry-level product. So in fact, there's products still being developed by the larger mass market manufacturers, and they are developing improvements to them. And so, we'll see what the future holds. I mean, it'd be very short-sighted to say that direct drive is the end-all, be-all. Obviously, technology will advance and different developments will happen, but I don't believe directly the belt drive system or even the helical gear is gone forever. It will still serve the purpose of different price points, so it'll still be around.
Yeah, I certainly see that with drivers that are well, Elvis is a good example. We have a lot of youngsters that are wanting to get into the sport of sim racing, and it is a great entry-level price point. You can spend, $350, to get yourself set up with a full pedal, wheels, and base, and really all you need to get going. When we look at pedals in the market, which is obviously a completely different topic in and of itself, do you see there being, the continuing, we're seeing more and more pedals coming out of the market, and now with all the different steering options that are coming about, there seems to be a big chase with the pedals. The direct drive is direct drive, and yes, they have their nuances and their differences, but that pedal world seems to be such a competitive market, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier for companies to to get in and make pedals than it is to make steering wheels. There's a lot more that goes into steering than into pedals. But yep, there is a lot more offering. The technology, it's still essentially load cell or pressure sensor. And definitely anything that senses pressure is still the better alternative. Again, potentiometers and other types of sensors won't necessarily go away. They'll be around because they serve a purpose, they fit a price point, and technology will advance where maybe a different method of measuring pedal input will develop. Again, sort of like saying that is the end all be all. But for now, yeah, any type of a pressure sensor, pressure sensitive pedal, rather than a distance-based measurement is the better option.
Yeah, it's certainly going to give you that optimum feel or response to what the car is doing. Just like with a direct right wheel, you feel way more sensitivity, much better and cleaner resolution to the track surface and what the car's doing and how you're going to respond to it. That was the biggest thing I noticed going to a direct drive wheel. So, as you say, the starter systems are great, to come in on an entry level. But, when we look at today's market and how far you can take this, and a lot of us have been adding to our rigs over the years. And, you spread that cost over a period of time. You just wonder where this is all going in another 5 years. It's just amazing. The more these race teams in real life are working with this, and on that topic, I'm sure Brian can allude to some of this. Brian, we'll bring you in on this conversation as an avid sim racer. You've had quite a bit of history in competition in sim racing. To quite an accolade and extensive levels of accomplishment there. Where and at what point did you find that correlation, or where one was helping you? With going from the simulator into the car, is it a lot of learning about racecraft? When you're competing in the simulator and understanding how to place your car in certain situations. What were some of the big things that transferred over for you?
Well, I think for me it was a lot of different things. You guys hear me okay, right?
Oh, yep. Loud and clear.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I've been sim racing since the 80s, when sim racing wasn't really what we know it as today, right?
Sure.
And so I've just kind of developed along with it and seen a lot of changes. I think the first kind of big eye-opening moment for me was when force feedback started to become a consumer reality.
Yeah.
Outside of that hard drive and arcade game, if anybody remembers that back in the day. But we started to get, I think it was like late 90s or so, racing sims started to get force feedback, and for me that was a big step forward, because you could actually feel the tires. Even though nowadays we would view those wheels as extremely primitive and not good enough, but they did their job for the time. And
sure,
I think that was a big thing. And just in general, the way that I approached sim racing, I always wanted to race real cars. I never could when I was a kid, so I always took sim racing kind of seriously, right? I tried to do as well as I could, and concentrate and learn everything that I could. So it helped in terms of muscle memory, car control, learning the line. But more than that, I think the focus that you need in a real car in a long race is exactly the same kind of focus you need in a sim race. So I think once I started racing real cars back in 2011, when I transitioned from the sim world, I kind of already had that going for me. It's not something that I had to learn. That just amount of concentration and complete focus was already there. So I think for me, that was one of the big things with sim racing, just translating directly to real life.
That's an interesting topic, because we see these drivers that are racing in some of the higher profile series in the same sim racing community, whether it be on iRacing or other platforms out there. But of course, iRacing really priding itself in more of the serious sim racing world, like you're speaking of, trying to replicate as much as possible that competition side of sim racing. In my mind, there just isn't another platform out there that gives you the ability to come in and enjoy different types of series in a competitive environment that it produces races round the clock like you can run on here and in the official races, but at the same time the league format here, the league platforms that are available, and the ability to set up series to mimic real life series and set up rule structures, and where this has gone compared to the days, and I'm sure you remember the old Toka Race Driver 2 and R Factor, and some of the series back in the day, or simulators rather, but it's amazing how it has evolved to this point. And when you talk about competition, I have always felt from the simulator perspective that the ability to learn and understand racecraft and the ability to sustain concentration for lengths of time in a car-type environment, to me, I think that's one of the biggest translations that a simulator can do for a real driver.
I mean, it's talked about a lot. I've honestly been amazed at how far sim racing has come in the last 3 or 4 years. It's gone places that I never thought it would, or certainly didn't think it would in this amount of time, and it's really become a legitimate sport on its own. And the equipment has gotten 10 times better. Lots of people have VR or triple screens in their homes now, and they have direct drive wheels, which back when I was doing GT Academy, direct drive wheel was the exclusive purview of professional simulators at the track, or Formula One teams probably.
Yep.
And no consumers had it, and now it's maybe Frank, you can tell us how sales are, but I imagine, just with the sheer number of direct drive wheels that have come out in recent years, it's got to be a hot market.
Yeah, it's definitely picked up a bit. We do both types, and so we have a pretty good split between them. But definitely anybody that's been sim racing for a while, they're looking at upgrading and getting into a direct drive. Everybody kind of starts out with a belt drive wheel or a gear based wheel, and eventually moves up. But yeah, it's very common now.
Yeah, when you look at what drivers are experiencing with these direct drive wheels, I know it helped improve my performance on the track. It's not that it makes you faster, but as Brian stated, if you take your sim racing seriously and you're really analyzing each of your laps, you're concentrating on your inputs, not only in the feet but in the hands, you are able to feel far better and clearer reaction to how the car is responding to the track surface based on those inputs. So, drivers do improve. They do find themselves reacting quicker, maybe saving some of that slip angle coming off the corners. They're able to respond to it quicker. So there is an advantage, to going to that level, obviously. Then we talk about pedals, Frank, and that middle one seems to be the big one, isn't it?
But what that?
I say when we talk about pedals in the sim world, that middle one is the big one.
Oh yeah. That is the most important.
The braking is and pedal design. You would probably say with your experience in this this crazy blossoming sim racing explosion we've had the last couple of years, everybody's chasing that perfect braking, aren't they?
Oh yeah. No, definitely braking is obviously the big factor. But yeah, pedal ergonomics also comes into play. just having everything in the right position, having the pedal move in the right arc to match your foot. I mean, Brian and I were talking about it. He's getting his new sim all dialed in, and that was kind of a sticking point as far as even the gas pedal and the way that the gas pedal moves and what he's used to and what he feels under his foot. Brian, have you looked at any more into that?
I actually have not. I still do want to stick a GoPro down there and see what my foot is doing versus the pedals, because I'm really curious to see what's happening. You feel something, but you don't quite know exactly what's going on. And yeah, it's it feels better today. So I don't know. Maybe I was just
okay.
I curl my toes
maybe my shoe was sticky
when I drive.
Sean, do me a favor, okay?
Do you really, Sean?
I do.
That's funny you brought that up. I had a habit of doing that with my left foot clutching. And I had to break myself. I was getting cramps in the arch of my foot. Do you get that?
Sometimes. I have to intentionally relax, but yeah, my instinct is to curl my toe.
Left or right foot?
It's my gas pedal on mine.
Oh, see, mine, it was the clutch. It was like, I felt like I had to caress it a bit, I don't know why. It was just, but it took me a while to get my foot to relax on the clutch. Of course, my left leg doesn't like to do things normal anyway, but that's a whole nother story. Yeah. So, it's interesting. So when you talk about, and we're touching on many nuances of sim racing, and I need to address a couple things here as we have drivers out on track. Let's let our viewers know who's at the top of the board, and of course we're going to not be surprised by this one. That number 01 of Mr. Elvis Rankin from the Apex Racing team out of Europe, coming in with a 119 again with a 119.308. Holding down that top time here on our leaderboard. Our good old buddy, Mr. Shaun Cole from the Simpit, sitting P2 right now on the leaderboard with a 120.657. And of course, Mr. Brian Heitkotter, our special guest tonight, coming in with a 120.798. Brian bringing his skills to the iRacing platform. Brian, this is how much time have you put into iRacing?
Very little since, my gosh, when was
like
the last
6.1K, so that says something, huh?
Have you looked at the date on my profile when I got to that?
I looked at that.
Right? Yeah.
It might have been 2011 because once I started racing with Nissan, I just, I got my fix racing real cars every weekend, and I took a break from sim racing.
Sure. And I believe it was the last week of 2011 you got that iRating? Yeah, I think that was how that happened. All in 1 week, yeah. No, that's interesting. Yeah, so Brian being one of the fortunate ones, with his talents being picked up in the real world back in 2011, and has not had a lot of time in his motorsports racing career to come back to iRacing. But it's great to have you over here, Brian, and we hope to see more of you. And I know we have talked off air about you becoming a little more involved with the Ricmotech Hotlap Humpday Challenge, and I'm sure Frank would not argue at all if we were to have our presence graced by you here each and every month, joining Robby and Sean in the booth. But we know you have a busy schedule, and you are still actively out there in the racing world.
You guys.
And no problem, Sean. Sean just leaves. He'll come in and out. He walks the dog, goes and has a glass of wine. I'm kidding. So he'll be
for
back
the amount of
here.
breaks he does. He honestly could do that.
That's true. But so Frank, what do we got to do to get Brian back in the booth with us here for more of these?
Ask him nicely.
Brian, if there was one thing that brightened my day, it was knowing that you were going to be here tonight. And
or
keep going.
The magical thing in racing that always speaks very, very clearly to racing drivers.
Oh yes, you bet. So, I'll tell you what. Let me make an announcement in the sim here. I'll let you guys talk amongst yourselves, if you will, about sim equipment. I'll be right back here.
What did you pick for
About sim equipment? Is that what we're supposed to talk about?
Robby, I picked the BMW. It's
right.
a little closer to the Nissans I raced in real life. Typical, front engine, big
Right.
engine.
Okay, good.
All right, there we go. Great to see everybody
Where did
out
you get it
tonight.
set
I'll
up
tell you
from, or
what,
you
welcome
just
to
on the
the
stock?
round 6 of the
No, I'm on
Ricmotech
the stock. I
Hotlat
tried a
Humpday
couple
Challenge.
things,
Great to see everybody. We've got
right out of
nice
the gate.
weather
They
here
didn't
today.
work,
A
so
little bit
I've gone
warm
back
out
to
there,
the-
so I'm sure you'll see
the
that
factory brake bias.
slip angle dancing a little
I
bit
tried
on the
taking
rear end of
wing
the
out
car
just now
here.
to
As
see
this
what
track
happens.
does tend to be a little bit slick anyway. But
Which
we're
one did you start with?
adding those
The
temps up
iRacing
around
ones?
84 degrees air temp in the
I
first.
I
We're
only
getting
saw
up
one.
there
It was
with
the baseline.
track temp up. Bet we're up
okay.
around
Is there another
110
one?
degrees by now. I haven't
Yeah,
checked it
I
here in
had
the
like
last couple
4 or
of minutes,
5.
but great to see everybody out tonight as we're looking at those times bouncing around on the leaderboard here. Elvis Rankin holding
Hey,
down
Frank, am I allowed to plug? I know this is your show.
In that 0-1 Porsche tonight with a 119.296. Shaun Cole from the Simpit coming in with a 120.657. And then we're going to welcome Sim Phenom, the driver that got picked up by Nissan back in 2011.
Well, if you want a hyper
Heitkotter,
setup,
for
you
those
just
of
go to
you that are
Apex
old-time
Racing Academy.
You certainly know the name
.com
Brian
and
Heitkotter. Of course,
sign up
Brian's
for a
still out there
subscription.
involved in the real motorsports world, and he's actively out there racing, but took some
That's where
time
you
out
get
of
him
his
from?
busy schedule to join us here for the Ricmotech Hotlap Humpday Challenge tonight. You'll see Brian out there scooting around, coming in P3
That is indeed,
tonight
but I
with
also
his
get them from another
120.798.
at
I'm sure we'll see him
virtualracingschool.com.
knocking away there on that time.
The
as
two main
evening
setup
moves
builders.
on. Tonight's format, as normal, we will have that
I do
dual
not.
sprint race tonight, 2 15-minute races back to back. We'll have a 5-minute warm-up between those sessions, and tonight we are racing for a Ricmotech beautiful sim racing t-shirt. That's right, Ricmotech Racing Simulators t-shirt. You can go to their website and take a look at it. It is really sharp, has a nice funny little saying on the back of it there about your devotion to sim racing. It's kind of funny. I love wearing my shirt. And great to see everybody out tonight. John Harrison, great to see you out here with us this evening in that number 8. Ken Jensen, great to see you back tonight, buddy, one of our regulars. Kenneth Estep, great to see him out tonight as well. Thornell Williams, welcome
I'll tell you,
aboard.
Robbie,
Look
I
forward
did
to
turn
seeing your
traction
laps
control
out there
up
on
to
track.
8.
And,
That
of course,
seemed to
in
work
that
a
number
little
10
better for
tonight,
me.
Pete Manette.
Okay.
Pete, great to have you with us tonight. David Clymer jumping in now. We'll be seeing him, as I always joke, climbing up the ladder as he gets his vehicle out on track tonight. We have about, an hour and 40 minutes remaining in qualifying.
Yeah, it seems to be
1
pretty
hour
loose on
and
entry,
40
doesn't
minutes
it?
remaining in
Yeah,
qualifying. We're going to take the
it's
top
like
20
the
drivers.
acid
The top 20 drivers tonight will make it into that first heat race, and then we will take the top 12 into the final event. We'll take a dozen cars
Are you
into the
third
event,
through
but
that
we will
little
have
section
10
there?
drivers reversed on the grid
Or
for
second?
that second race tonight.
I
All right,
think it
drivers,
was
have a
third.
great time out here this evening. Be
What
safe,
section is
be
that
respectful.
section?
Keep that situation
Bottom of the
awareness up.
hill.
Watch that F3 box coming out of
And
the
that
pit.
second there.
Yep.
Sorry, I was breaking my wrist. Third gear.
Elvis, before I walked away, you had said, Sean, can you do me a favor?
Yeah, you can still do it. So go to the standing sheet, right?
The standing sheet for Hotlap Humpday?
It's just the standings in the sim, okay?
Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
Bear with me. Are you pointing out your position?
No. So do Windows print screen, and then you will forever be able to say that you have beaten a guy that has won the Nissan GT Academy.
Oh, I'm not ahead of him anymore. That was the case. We'll have to do better.
Well, that track temp's coming in at
Hey,
about
it's not over yet.
95
Top of the
degrees.
hill, you're
right now.
third. Second.
It doesn't.
Go, right?
We never have to say when the screenshot was taken or nothing, as long as it has the evidence. Thank you.
It doesn't say it that way, though. I need to turn my car sounds back up. So I know the guys were talking wheels and pedals and all that good stuff. And if you can see it right there on the bottom of the screen, there is the password for the event. But we are already under qualifying, which means you do need to use the new user interface in order to join this session. But it is free or welcome for all to join and come post a lap. at Road Atlanta, and the Porsche or the BMW, and top 12 will be rewarded with a shot at the final races for the night coming up in about an hour and a half or so.
Yeah, about an hour and 35 minutes or so. Yeah, we'll be getting our first race underway. Our dual heat races tonight will be two 15-minute races back to back.
Kevin, can you look at me like where I am right now? Can you just tell me where I'm at?
On track.
I'm don't have as much visibility as I think I should have.
I don't think you should have any visibility. I'm not even seeing you on track.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow, I see you now. Oh, my goodness. There's...
I think I just saw a turtle.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You're spraying debris all over the track, though, it seems. Oh, there it stopped.
See, my grandmother said that the food was here, so I did that on purpose.
Gotcha. Shaun, black area is much better. It's much quicker there.
Yeah, tell my
track
brakes that. I thought Porsches were supposed to have good brakes.
Boy, you have a beautiful paint job on that car, I must say.
Oh, you didn't like my paint job, Kevin? Okay.
Well, let me go back and let's take a look at that paint job again. Well, that is a very nice paint job, I must say, although it is your iRacing paint job. Get trading paints going here.
Yes, that's what we need.
So, Shaun, you had mentioned, you said, yeah, we were talking about pedals and wheels and all those sorts of things, lions, tigers, and bears. What was your direction you were going on that topic?
Me? I know, that was you guys. That was all you guys. What am I doing?
Gotcha.
I run a different wheel and pedal set every day, it seems. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. You're one of the rare phenoms that can drive in, well, almost like every kind of car, really. Yeah, you get the benefit of what real drivers do when they get to run different series throughout their career. You literally change rigs, so it is like driving a different car, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Every time I'm in the rig, it seems like it's a different wheel. Sometimes it's the wheelbase, sometimes it's the actual wheel rim.
My bad, Kenneth.
Yeah, that would be difficult for me. I think I'd have.
Can I comment on that, actually?
Absolutely.
So, I know it's like everybody says, it's like you look at most of the majority of the fast guys, like Rogers.
Yeah, I got through.
Like all the Rogers, Joe, all the fast guys, all the past guys that race in the iRacing Pro Series.
Yep.
You'll see like 95% of them are on direct drives. However, the thing that I really am going to emphasize is there are so many people out there we call G27 warriors, who are people who are on these Logitech wheels that are way outperforming their equipment. And just because it's like, well, these guys have the direct drives or whatever, that's not an excuse to say, because there's plenty of really fast guys that are on G27s and Thrustmasters and Fanatics belts,
Absolutely.
Well, almost all the guys you just named, it was a G27 or something that got them there.
Yep.
And it was only once they got there that it just gets back to what Brian was talking about. But it's like, the direct drive market has not been the average equipment of the average sim racer until very, very recently. And even then, it's still priced to a point where it's not everyone. And so again, once you're to that level, usually those teams can get you provided the equipment that they're sponsored by or whatever, or a good deal on one of those, I think most of those people you named would be able to do everything they do on the G27 still to this day.
Yep.
Including
wasn't Ray Alfalo one of those drivers that was on the old Logitech GT wheel and was able to capture a couple of NASCAR sim racing world championships?
Yep.
oval, but yes, I agree.
Go ahead, bud. So, Frank, you still with us?
I am.
Okay, good deal. Sorry to pull you away from all
No, I
those
had my
orders
microphone
piling
muted.
up on your desk. Oh, gotcha.
I was muted so I wouldn't interrupt you guys, and I said, wait, I'm still muted.
I'm still muted. Right. Well, this goes back to really, it's an open topic for everyone here at the table. We've talked about wheels. We've spoken about pedals. Let's talk a little bit about the ergonomics, and the importance of that. And Brian can certainly speak on that. You guys in a real car, when you're anticipated to be behind the wheel for even a 90-minute stint, let alone a 2 or 3 hour or even a 4 hour stint, there's quite a bit of ergonomics built into that, is there not?
Oh, yeah.
Your seat, your
Absolutely.
angle of your seat, your feet position, the angle of your legs, your body height, your body build. So many factors and criteria are put into that design.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I did World Challenge, I had a car to myself, right? A single car, single entry. So we got to set it up exactly how I wanted. And I have a little bit of a weird frame. I'm 5'11", but I have a very tall torso. So I like to sit real low. You're kind of close to the pedals and the wheel. So it's a little different from a lot of other drivers. And I know when I was doing endurance racing, you have to swap drivers in the pits in 20 seconds, and you can have drivers that have very different builds. So, a lot of teams will mark the seat position, or they'll have a stopper, like all the way forward for one driver and all the way back for the other driver. So when you hop in the car and throw on your belts, you can put the seat exactly where you want it and get going. Ergonomics for me is not everything, but it's extremely important. I'm probably more sensitive to it than a lot of people are.
See, now being a near midget, this gets back to, my running any wheel all the time, changing it. On the car I race, in Lemons, the other driver is 6'5". So,
oh my goodness!
No
Shaun.
matter what we do, it's either he has to have his knees hitting the wheel, or I need to come in with massive amounts of padding, which anyone who's ever raced in belts with padding, it sucks. It suffocates you so much more than just a seat.
So your tall guy on the team, is he too tall to put the seat on sliders?
We're on sliders, but it's just not enough to accommodate the difference between the two of us.
Yeah, we're talking Shaq and
and Spud Webb.
And Spud
and the car doesn't. It's a terrible car, so it doesn't give us enough. It doesn't have the luxuries of all the room in the world to put bigger, longer tracks or anything. It's all pain. But no, it's amazing the difference when you have a car that's for you. I just recently built, as much as I test and love all the wonderful rigs that one can purchase, I just built a new deathmobile, as I call it, which is just I just built the entire rig to exactly where I wanted everything to be, not for another human being on Earth. And it's really nice having it exactly where you want it,
Yeah, so, in driving a real car in that situation, obviously you're dealing with the vibrations and a lot of other factors that you don't get within the sim. That seat of the pants feel. We've talked about that on the show a couple of times. Robby, I'll bring you in on this conversation. Obviously technology has changed, quite a bit, even from your last days of competing on a regular basis, out there in a sanction.
Crazy. They have rubber wheels and everything now, man.
Right. I mean, I know, and they're round. They're actually round.
I know. You don't have to feed the horses. Shit, it's great.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. No more relay racing. The wheels just keep spinning, and you just. Oh, goodness. So, what were some of the things that you dealt with in the cockpit, in IndyCar and in different, because, you've done everything from Pikes Peak to getting to grandma's before the rest of your family.
Right.
So tell me what were some of the things that you liked or disliked, or maybe a situation in a particular race where your ergonomics were not right on and you had to face that challenge at the same time.
Yeah, well, kind of your whole career. So when I started, they didn't really care about that. In other words, the driver was the last piece of the puzzle.
Right.
You'd lay down in the thing if they made you.
Yeah, most of my early seats, well, I had one seat made for me where the guy came in, the guy put me in a driving suit. He says, get ready. Put the aluminum seat there, stood it up, heated it up. To jump in it, you only have a minute, and beat it around my body. So that seat, that was Pikes Peak. So I never wore any padding, nothing. So I'm used to bleeding a lot after races. Not kidding. My spine literally bleed all the time after the race. That's just the way it was. And that's just what you did.
Right.
Then you start getting in cars where you wreck. Then you find out as you start getting faster and wrecks start happening, you start getting better seats.
And this is where the fun began, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, you start hitting 200 miles an hour and seeing 100 Gs.
Yeah.
It's a different world. So then you learn about like inserts and stuff. Like Shaun, you shouldn't play with padding. You go get the seat for you and your buddy, put him in the thinnest padding you can, make him sit there, slide the rails as far back, set him up, then take you and pour a insert to your seat. So you just stick an insert, bam, done.
Yep, that's
the only real way to actually do it.
That's what I will probably do before the next race.
Yeah, and not to mention, you think driving in a seat with padding is bad. Why do you crash in a seat with padding?
Oh, I can only imagine.
Because you have no idea what a messed up day is.
Yeah, well,
so those inserts are so much safer, really, is what it boils down to.
Well, with the padding, it's just going to turn you into a little rubber band inside of the seatbelt because it's going to compress and uncompress and move. And I mean, that's the whole thing.
What you're going to learn is the first thing that hits something solid is what breaks.
Right.
So if your spine is the closest to the back of the seat and you back in, wherever that spine hits,
right,
that vertebrae got broke.
Yeah.
Just the way it is. So it changes to, and then you find out if you're going to run for a long time, things like wrist, okay? Your arms go tired twice as fast if your wrists aren't at the right angle and if your shoulders aren't in the right position.
Right.
And if your torso's not held at the right place. So for the endurance guys, it's a lot more important than sprint guys, but nevertheless, we all can drive our way around other crap, but everybody likes it when you have the car fit for you the best. That's for sure a much better. You're just faster, you're better, and you can feel the car better.
Right.
Well, it's one less thing that your body is having to cope with, rather mentally or physically. Any outside distraction from the usual distractions you deal with on track is another element that's reducing your ability to have an optimum performance.
Right.
If you're in a seat that's
that's
extremely
what
uncomfortable, or you're going numb in one of your legs because you're cockeyed in the seat for whatever reason, that's going to certainly distract your ability to perform at your best.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's gone to. I mean, that's why there's no clutches in cars anymore.
Right. It's
everything
such a science of streamlining.
Take it away so that the driver doesn't have to do anything but just look and drive.
Right.
And unfortunately, it's so there's a big difference between the drivers of old and what they dealt with and today's drivers.
Sure. Brian,
hey, Kevin.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to go feed my dog real quick. What I did was, while you talked to Brian, I just put the camera on Brian. So watch Brian
fantastic.
Out there, and just so there's no misunderstanding, I'll turn my camera off. Look at that. It worked.
Wonderful.
I don't know how that worked. But...
And Shaun, thank you for not switching my picture.
you know what? I saw that on my phone. I meant to.
Oh, well, you're welcome. You're welcome to do it. That's fine.
We'll
You're
leave
welcome
that
to
for
do
next show. We'll leave
it.
that
Oh, yeah. Now see everybody. Well, not that it's anything worth looking forward to, but
Well, let me just tell you,
it could
anybody
draw
who's
some
out
interest
there,
anyway.
you would never, ever, ever confuse the two pictures for the same person.
Right. Oh, so you have seen it. I thought you'd get a laugh out of that.
I was like, no way is that Kevin. I had to like really inspect and look to find out.
Yep. Oh, that's great. Good
All
stuff.
right.
Good stuff. All right, buddy. We'll
I'll
talk
feed
to
the
you
dog.
here. in a
I'll
few.
be right back.
All right. Sounds good. Well, let's take a look at that leaderboard here. Mr. Elvis Rankin doing what he does, just banging away at that clock. A 118.884 now up on the board in that 0-1, doing that dance in that Porsche, that Apex Racing Team sponsored vehicle. Brian Heitkotter holding down P2 there. No surprises there to see Brian get his hands around this car and starting to get it dialed in out there on track, it seems, with a 119.344, just under a half a second off of the youngster there, Mr. Rankin. Andrus Slizens, great to see Andrus out there with us in that number 99, holding down P3 with a 119.354. My goodness, just 1/100th of a second off of Mr. Heitkotter. Back there in P4 now, Jose finds himself dropping a spot on the board here to a 120.125, and just behind him, 7/100ths of a second back, 120.189, Mr. Pete Manette. Great to see Pete out there with us. I think this is his first Hotlap Humpday Challenge visit, so great to have Pete with us tonight. John Harrison, I believe we've seen John in the past, so John out there with a 120.214, holding down P6, and oh goodness, Shaun Cole, as he stepped away from the white mic to go walk the dog, finds himself back in P7 at that number 39 tonight. Of course, Shaun out there in his very familiar blue and orange golf colors. Shaun sporting that Simpit logo out there tonight. Of course, appreciate Shaun coming out tonight, putting the show on, and want to send a special thanks to Mr. Brian Heitkotter. Brian, thanks for joining us tonight, buddy. You having some fun out there at Road Atlanta? I understand you've been here once in your career.
Yeah. I was 2014 driving a Nissan Altima. It was a crazy race. Memorable because Randy Popes gave me a bump and run.
Did he? Okay, great. Doing the Randy thing.
yeah. I'm having a lot of fun. I loaded up the GT sim profile that I created for Ricmotech a couple years ago before I got one of their sims, and it's working great on this BMW. The steering feel is super good.
Fantastic.
So, I'm just relearning iRacing. Having a good time listening to you guys.
Oh, well, wonderful. Well, you just stick to the track. There's nothing exciting about us, man. You have fun out there in that sim. Frank, Brian brought up a good point. We were talking about direct drive wheels earlier, and of course, Ricmotech has their Mini Mite. Tell us a little bit about what Brian mentioned. I know you guys worked together on that project and developed a profile for the customers.
Yeah. So Brian was Brian was down here for a while, and he essentially tuned everything on the sim as far as our the Mini Mite wheel and our slip sense motion, as well as the vibration, and got everything dialed in. Created 3 different profiles for production car race cars, GT car race cars, and Formula and prototype cars. And so any customer that purchases any of those systems from us, they can just request a profile that we'll send them out to them. I believe they go out automatically as well when purchases are made. And we've gotten really good feedback from those profiles. Just very well tuned, makes the cars respond really well. We probably need to do a few updates on them with the latest changes in the tire model, but they still work extremely well. So
boy. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, and I mean, what a neat opportunity to merge the two worlds there a little bit. Having Brian really dial into the wheel and giving him the ability to adjust the profiles and set those to where he felt it best represented, behavior. I mean, how many sim wheels out there come with that kind of configuration? Mr. Brian Heitkotter's name attached to it, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah. Good stuff.
Brian's extremely detailed. He took copious notes of everything, did A/B testing. So it was quite a few hours that went into developing those profiles. Brian, do you remember how many hours you ended up putting into?
No, I was just thinking about that. I think it was at least a week, like at least 40 hours, probably.
Probably, yeah. You were at the
goodness.
shop, day after day, and after the second day, I kind of asked you. I remember asking you about how's it coming along. It's like, well, I got I'm this far, and I've analyzed these different parameters, and I'm thinking, holy crap, it's only like a third of the way through it. I didn't realize that what I asked was that monumental, but
that daunting, right?
But no, I mean it turned out great.
That's
I get compliments on it all the time.
Wow. What a neat concept there, Frank, to bring those two worlds together into a direct drive wheel system. That's really unique, and of course you can find that on the ricmotech.com website. Be sure to head over to the world of sim racing equipment. Of course, quite a line of direct drive wheels now, as Frank mentioned earlier. Several different brands available for drivers out there, and many different price points. It's the diversity of wheels that you have now on your wall in your new showroom, Frank, is quite broad. I have to say, I can't wait to get back down there and see the new showroom. Speaking of, and Brian, have you had a chance to don the halls of the new gold dome that is the sim racing capital of Ricmotech?
I have, yeah. I visited there. I actually did an esports race there since I was in Florida at the time. So I
nice.
did it from the sim in the new, I guess you call it an office with the window.
Oh, so, showroom. That's our showroom. Yeah,
the new showroom there. Yeah, it's quite slick. As soon as we get Shaun back in here, we'll play that video roll that he has of walking through the beautiful facility there in Miami. Yeah, anxious to get back down there, Frank. I know you guys have done quite a bit, probably even since Ryan was there. You guys have done a little more painting and a little more dressing up of the facility, and so anxious to check it all out. Now, you guys still have your other building? Is that my understanding?
So no. So in this warehouse complex, we had a unit kind of close toward the back, but this complex faces the highway. So back in the beginning of 2020, just prior to the lockdowns, we were able to secure one of the units that faces the highway. And the idea was we're going to turn that into a showroom, have a nice store, a public place for people to come in. And then of course 3 weeks later the lockdowns happened. So perfect timing to pick a time to build a showroom for people to come in, and we can't let them.
Yeah, there's literally no traffic on the highway in front of your building.
Yeah. But since then, the unit right next door to it became available, and so what we've done is we moved from the facility that we had in the back to the front. So now our showroom, our offices, and our fabrication shop is all side by side by side.
Nice.
So that happened earlier this year.
Maybe I should show your shop.
I was waiting on you to return to your seat there. I mentioned that on the air. I said, as soon as Shaun returns, we'll get some video roll.
Let me get on that real quick.
There you go.
I'm going to play the Ricmotech. Take a look at the leaderboard here. Elvis Rankin still holding tight with that 118.884. I believe he has parked the car on pit road momentarily as he's stepped away. Gathered some groceries, I think.
Slizen's holding down P2 still in that number 99. He comes out in that number 99 just about every month, so great to see Andrus back out with us. Now moving up to P2 with a 119 flat, now sitting on that .053. Good gracious, Kevin, get your math straight. 1600ths of a second back. Mr. Heitkotter having quite the battle there with Andrus. I'll tell you, Brian, that driver you're going up against there, he's one of the high spinners out there on iRacing. He can certainly cover that tarmac pretty quick. So you're making a a lot of action out there on the board tonight. P9 is where we find Shaun Cole, David Clymer. Boy, he and Shaun just go at it every single month. David out there in that number, or that familiar number 242, and those two are going to have another battle, it looks like, tonight. And positioned where they are, if that's how they fall at the end of race 2, we may find Shaun back up there in the front for race 2's feature tonight.
All part
Shaun,
of the secret strategy.
Yeah, the secret strategy. Yeah, Shaun did pretty well there last month, starting up in P1.
You gotta read the rule book, people.
That's right. Yep, pay attention, right? Robby Unser having a good showing out there in P11 tonight, 121.842, trying to get it down. He's in that Beamer. We've got the BMWs out there competing against the Porsches. Brian having a pretty good showing in that Beamer, though, right up there in P2 tonight. So that's the car that I love, Brian. I'm a big Beamer fan, buddy. I have yet to have graced my presence in the cockpit of the Beamer here on iRacing yet. I have been so busy with all of the organizational items that we tend to at Extreme Motorsports anymore. I haven't been in the car in several months now. Sim racing has pretty much taken me out of the car, Brian. And that I find that to be safer for all of the other sim racers out there.
Tommy from the Bronx with the big donation. Thank you, buddy.
Wow, Tommy, thanks, buddy. Wow.
Look at that. That is awesome. I feel like that is such a kind gesture. I should dedicate this crash right here to you.
That's right.
Oh!
That crash brought to you by Tommy from the Bronx. Tommy bringing his presence to the series tonight. If you'd like to take a look at Tommy's car, come on out and jump in the session. You can watch Tommy from the Bronx turning laps, laying down some great times. Again, that wreck brought to you by Tommy from the Bronx.
We roofed it for you. Now we'll get a good replay of that one.
There you go, Tommy. $20 worth of advertising for you there, buddy.
Here we go. We're going to
stuff.
send the Simpit Porsche into the wall at about 150. Come on your roof, little VW.
I love it. Little VW. There it is. The nice little pirouette of Tommy from the Bronx spinning wildly there in the old Simpit car. Thank you, Tommy, for bringing that wreck to us all tonight here for round 6.
Do I need to reload trading paints? It doesn't look like a Robby paint job.
Yeah, where is the typical Robby paint job? Robby, you don't have your familiar paint out there tonight. You were late getting in, though.
I'm used to you being in the T2 Terminator paint.
Yeah, right.
Scar on cold tires is wicked.
So let's check the leaderboard. That's always fun to do. Andrus Slizen still holding down P2 there.
Flat bug. I need more volume on my car. People out there in TV land, can I have more volume, or is that going to be too much for you?
Whoa. Okay, so why do I refresh my paints?
I need to do it. It's on me, I think. But I can't do it right now.
Is this third or second for you?
Second, I think, but I'm not sure about that. I can't hit it right, so it's hard for me to tell.
Well, let's take ergonomics to a different world of motorsports, Mr. Heitkotter. Let's talk about what you have done for yourself in the sim world when it comes to competing. How often have you competed in any official races, or has it been mostly private runs that you've done, or have you ever competed? I know a lot of pro drivers
Tell me if you
come
get a
into
run.
sim racing and like to just use it as a training tool. So I'll hand the mic over to you there. Talk about some ergonomics in your sim experience.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been sim racing for so long, I've kind of done a little bit of everything. So I've done the league thing, I've done just the offline practice thing for my own learning and benefit. And I used to do a bunch of official sessions in iRacing before I went GT Academy. Did what was it called back then? The iRacing Drivers World Championship.
Yes.
Back in the day. But yeah, a little bit of everything. I just love cars and sim racing, so always used to find time for it back in the day. Not so much anymore, but I'm getting back into it now. Realizing how much I missed it. But yeah, the ergonomic stuff on the sim, I mean, it's a little bit of a new thing for me, because I always use the plastic wheel on an old computer desk with
Of course.
various things jerry-rigged
Yep.
to various places. And it kind of works. But now, I've got a proper sim from Ricmotech, and it's highly adjustable, and it's got a Recaro racing seat in it, and the whole bit. So I'm kind of learning as I go along what I need from the sim to make it comfortable and make it feel as natural as possible. Triple monitors are a new thing for me now, so I've been getting that all set up. One of the changes I made recently was I went to a slightly smaller steering wheel. I went to a 300 millimeter, so it's kind of like a jack of all trades. It's a little bit bigger than a Formula style wheel, but it's smaller than the typical GT style wheel.
Yep.
And tonight's my first time trying it out, and I'm really liking the change so far.
Oh, shit. Same thing.
John, did you crash again?
Again, it was like, car please. Car, please. I think I have my
Free
force
token.
feedback too strong for this car. That's what it is. Brian, are you living in California, or are you in Florida now?
I'm back in California.
Okay.
Yeah,
In
they're kind of all over
Bakersfield?
the place. Fresno.
Fresno. Okay, that's right.
Just as hot as Bakersfield.
Yeah, this is the first week of real summer, and I have a first week of summer headache. I'm not happy about it. Force feedback. I was going to turn down force feedback. Yeah, I don't need all this power of these direct drive wheels, so back to that whole conversation. I don't need all these Newton meters. I don't need, I need just barely more than what the typical belt or gear wheel.
Right.
So
Just enough to get the resolution, but not just, crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I'm actually kind of thinking about when they're going to go back to, I heard you guys discounting belts and gears, and I thought, yeah, but in the end, they might end up going back to belts and gears being driven off of bigger motors.
Sure, and some sort of design element that reduces slippage and, right, yep.
Well, I mean, the problem I'm still having, and this is across the board in DD land, is they just seem to hit you so hard, and it's like, wow, outside of like actually crashing the car, I don't know if my go-kart or
Never does.
it hits you really,
Real life isn't that hard.
Yeah,
Not that hard. Right. There is some play there. Yeah.
And I feel like it does that in like a snap oversteer moments too. So it's not just when you crash or massive impact, but some of the reversal speeds are like too quick on the wheel, and I want a more delay. And I'm like, well, maybe if they put a belt on this, it might slow
Right.
it down. You know, without doing it through electronic damping, because they do that, and I never like it. It never gets me the result I want. But yeah, I know. What
Well,
was their
see-
name?
Yeah, I think it's. I think it could be, Frank, a concept for the new and newly developed and more environmentally friendly hybrid wheel.
Well, yeah, but look, honestly, the Mini Mite or the one I have, Frank, what's that one called?
Yep,
Yeah,
you have a
Mini
mini
Mite.
mic.
Okay.
Yep.
So that thing is much better on that stuff.
Right.
It is.
Okay, but it doesn't
yeah.
give you quite the force feedback. So I think someday somebody's going to come up with basically one motor that's got two stages, like half
Right.
this motor and half a stronger one, and assign different properties to the two different sides of the motor, and then I think you could probably get something.
That could be very cool as well.
Yeah.
Follow
Hey,
what I
George
mean?
Sandman, welcome to the show. I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Glad you're here.
Is that George Sandman?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, George, good to see you tonight, buddy. Thanks
Oh,
for coming out
Tommy,
and joining
I
us.
got it.
Password is SimMagic, SIMAGIC.
Oh,
Tommy from the Bronx just stepped up.
yeah. That's a tall order. I'm already sitting here sweating and with a headache, like not feeling my best.
Come on, shake it off, shake it off.
So I run a AccuForce, is one of my main wheels, which I think is about similar to the Mini Mite, and I like its power. Right now I'm on the SimiQ Pro, which this is their medium strength wheel, and I would call this thing a monster. This thing has horsepower for days.
Yeah.
I'm at two.
Essentially, the two are they're different types of motors. The Mini Mite and the AccuForce, they both use a hybrid stepper motor, the same
Right.
hybrid stepper motor, and the SimiQ is a servo motor. There's fundamental differences between the two, and there's arguments to be made for both types. A stepper motor has higher initial torque, so from a standstill, it can deliver a lot more torque than a servo motor can. The servo motor, kind of needs to get up to speed before it can deliver its full torque output. So, but when you're using it as a steering wheel, you're either not rotating or you're going back and forth, which is essentially not ideal, not the ideal torque condition for that motor. So, so a stepper motor is able to deliver that higher initial torque. The servo motors, but not the finesse. So servo motors, in order to make up for that, they essentially start with a larger motor, so that they are able to deliver the amount of torque necessary
on the low end.
On the low end, so they
instantaneous,
compensate.
yeah.
But then you have a really huge motor, and essentially it needs to taper down once it is moving. And so that's kind of why you feel that when you have a sudden force feedback delivery, it kind of hits you hard.
Right.
So they're almost overdriving it initially, and then it's backing down. It almost feels like an impact. Now a servo motor, a stepper motor, just can't deliver the torque into that higher speed. So kind of the most important takeaway is, if you have a stepper motor based direct drive, you never want to overdrive it. You never want to put it into a condition where it's beyond its capability.
Right.
It just doesn't feel right. Where servo motors, because they're already oversized, they have the headroom there. So there's trade-offs.
Can you put two of those together?
You don't end up getting the best of both. You end up getting the worst of both.
Because of the control, the way you have
because
to
of the
control it.
and now you're taking the finesse that the stepper motor has, and you're asking it to drag along a heavy servo motor for the ride, so it's dampening it.
Oh, I gotcha.
And then Yeah, so it may not necessarily equal being kind of the best of both. So some other technology kind of needs to step in, whether it's so that's where potentially a belt drive or even a high-end gear drive or the gearbox could come in, where it can take some of the limitations of the stepper motor or the servo motor and using gear reduction, possibly get it into a better range.
How about if you put two of those different motors onto one gear that was on the shaft?
I mean, yeah, I'd have to see how that can go together.
You know what I'm saying?
But, yeah, but I mean, switching between the two, then we have to worry about, are you going to feel that switching over?
Sliding.
Well, I think you run them at the same time. You set one for, like, I would make a steering wheel feel all the little one, and then put like the road bumps and all that other crap onto the second motor.
Yeah.
But I mean, separate the duties.
Yeah. I mean, there's.
I've thought of that too. Like, what if you actually took a sim and we ran it through a steering shaft, and you put the steering motor that just did steering, like in a real car, on the shaft, and then actually run some suspension out to separate points that would be like the spindles, and put separate motors there that jam it, hit it, bounce it. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's all possible. Now you're talking about kind of professional level sims, not a home sim. But yeah.
Well, that's where I've seen you bring all that professional stuff right into the home. So.
Well, yeah. It's a matter of downsizing it enough so it fits and it has a wife acceptance factor.
So what if you just, I mean, this is just spitballing here, but what if you just took like the concept of two timing gears, but removed just like one tooth from one, so you just had the smallest reduction, and then ran to a secondary shaft that was the steering shaft, and then put a belt on that gear reduction to an over horsepower direct drive wheel?
Yeah. Yeah. All those are viable concepts. Yeah, it's a matter of seeing how they execute. I mean, force feedback is all about sensation. So obviously, have to put all that together and then see how it feels.
It would create a weird linearity on your steering calibration, because you'd turn 900, but the motor would only be turning like 850 or something.
Yep, and for a direct drive, that's completely addressable. Like on ours, I think the maximum, you could dial in 6,000 degrees of rotation on it, so that you're able to do gear reduction. So you can get your steering wheel to do 900 degrees when you're actually spinning the motor 6,000 degrees. So yeah, different things can be done. I know of a company out of Canada. They build. They take production road cars and convert them into sims for trade shows for the big companies, for Chrysler, Volkswagen, all of them. If you've gone to like an auto show and you've seen a car that's been turned into a simulator, it's probably built by them, and they do things like that because they're rotating the entire steering shaft, and so they're using gear reduction off of a direct drive motor in order to be able to that mass,
right,
and have it be responsive. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like force feedback systems lack the mass that a steering system would have. So a steering shaft, the rack and pinion unit, and possibly even the weight of the spindles,
right,
and the wheels on the end of it. And then, of course, what translates back coming in from the suspension and the road, and when you turn to full lock, or when the tire bumps up against the curb, a force feedback wheel kind of counters your movement with force. But in reality, what happens is it may not bump back; it may just stop you from being able to turn the wheel.
Right.
And that's why you get weird things like oscillation on the steering wheel. That doesn't happen in a real car. You take your hands off the steering wheel on a straightaway in a real car, and it just goes straight. Yet you do it on a sim, and the wheel starts oscillating on you because it doesn't have the same physical properties. It's all trying to be electronically simulated.
Right.
And so yeah, I think when we're able to get more of the actual mechanical properties into a steering system where they're not all being just replicated by applying force to the magnet and reacting to, oh, the wheel went this far and it wasn't supposed to, and now we have to energize it to force it back the other way. But rather than having something that physically stops the wheel from turning, like a brake on the steering shaft.
Yeah.
Potentially. And how does that react? So there's a lot more that can go into it, and then the question that just ends up becoming, and then the question just becomes, can it be put into a practical package that somebody at home can use, or does this become this, enormous contraption?
Right, like pro rig only because of the expense and size and magnitude.
Because of the expense, exactly. Like we've come across the concept of, hey, can we build a seat that has airbags on the sides to replicate lateral G-forces? And, well, yeah, we can. We need an air compressor in order to be able to deliver that air to those airbags and inflate them and deflate them quickly enough. But the average sim racer is not going to be able to have an air compressor, running, either want to have it running in the same room or be able to run it like in their garage and run plumbing lines to it. And then it has to have the capacity to be able to inflate and deflate repetitively and not run out of air. And so, but F1 teams and, their simulators have those types of devices in them.
Sure. Well, I don't know. Some people are crazy enough to build a home dual suit or something.
Yeah.
By the way, I did the radiator.
You did?
Did the radiator, and it worked out really well.
Okay, cool.
It's it's a small setup, so it's not giving much volume. But I actually didn't want much volume. It worked out really well. But you got to remember to freeze your water bottles, or it is useless.
Doesn't last?
Correct.
Yeah.
It lasts about 3 hours on 6 water bottles.
On 6 frozen water bottles.
Yeah, like 6
That's
regular,
not bad.
like trade show size, bottle.
Okay, yeah.
6 of those frozen into a cooler that's about half filled with water, and that'll give you 3 hours of plenty cold air.
Okay.
In a little zone around your body.
No, not bad. Not bad.
No, I mean, it's not really good for like endurance racing because 12 bottles is more than I'm going to allocate in freezer space.
Good Gertie.
Yeah, I mean, I got to eat too, right?
Why don't you just build a rig inside of a meat locker?
I would.
Oh.
I definitely overheat when racing, so I mean, I would. I mean, I'm dying right now. This room is... I'm going to get my temperature gun, but I need to get my... So as much as I played around with all these, inexpensive options, I'm going to end up going back to my air conditioner. But the downside of that is, A, they're really expensive. B, the amp draw, like when it cycles, is enough to blow the breaker.
Yep.
So, I mean, I was trying to get away from that, but this is going to be a brutal summer.
Yeah, it's pretty hot everywhere. We're supposed to hit 100 tomorrow in just actual temperature here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, I have a headache just from that. Booth, great question. How many in the lobby so far? I don't know. I think we're a little.
I think about 14.
Kind of quiet.
15. 15 out there tonight.
So plenty of room. And
yeah, plenty of room.
Race is going to start in. Kevin?
45 minutes.
45 minutes.
How many laps is that race, Kevin?
Let's see. Let me do a calculation here for you. We're probably looking at, well, let me run the numbers. Stand by. But while I'm running numbers, let's talk about numbers. The 05. That's a driver that's familiar with this position. P1. Well, now. 118.574 out of Mr. Brian. Oh, Rankin pops him while I'm speaking about P1. Mr. Rankin comes in with a 118.464. He's right. He did have something to say about it. Knocks him back by 1/10. Brian Heitkotter now, boy, he's shaking his head. The sweat beads flying out of his car now. Brian going to get out there and get busy and start chasing Mr. Rankin once again. Vandross Slissen's falling back to P3 in that number 99 tonight with a 118.790. He finds himself now 3/10 out of the top of the board. Jason Gata, great to see Jason out there tonight. And Jason, well, what you got to do is you got to get up to P1 there, chasing Mr. Rankin in that number 14. Jose Cabrera falling back to P5 now. But Shaun Cole holding down P6 with a really nice time out there with a 119.647.
What?
All right, here we go. Let's see what that time is here.
Mess up your line if I made you go crash like that.
All right, I have the calculator running here, guys. Let's see. We're going to have...
Yeah, Max had to be a part of the show, didn't he? Kevin, how many drivers advancing? 12?
We're going to advance 12 to the final round. Yep, so we have three drivers actually in the session that will not make it to the final round tonight.
Oh. All right.
Great to see some of the new faces tonight. Victor Aponte out there in the number 15. Darnell Williams. I don't remember Darnell ever joining us for the Hotlap Humpday, but Darnell, if you have, excuse me, apologize for that, but great to see you out here tonight in that number 5.
Oh, it's Jason. Hi, Jason.
We're looking at about 11 and a half laps tonight, Mr. Robby Unser.
Okay.
So that's not carrying enough fuel.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What are you guys averaging per lap?
I don't know, but...
Anybody have a ticker on that? Elvis, can you give us an idea at least?
I got a number for the Porsche.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be relatively close with the Beamer.
0.74.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it, buddy.
Still want to turn my car audio higher.
If somebody can give me a read on the full tank, what the gallons are on a full tank in the Porsche.
I think it was 15.6.
15.6? Okay. Go.
I'm not, but that's just a guess, I think. I think that's what the baseline had on it. I don't know if it was filled up. Oh, why are you doing that, Sean? I am driving so poorly. I'm having a real hard time concentrating right now.
Sean, do you like the BMW?
No, I don't like
He
the
doesn't
BMW.
know he's not in it.
Yeah, I thought I remember you complaining about it, but I think the BMW is about 10 times easier to drive than this thing.
It's the sound. It's just the sounds of the BMW I don't like. It's kind of kazooish.
Forgot about that.
It's better. It is better, but it's still, yeah, I agree, Sean. It's close. They're getting there.
No, I just noticed my brain is not working. It's like I'm driving and all of a sudden, like, strangest thoughts are popping into my head while driving.
Just getting big tank slappers. get an insane drop off you two, or get held up? My lap's already cooked.
Go ahead.
No. I'll push it.
Damn it. Every time I get off the brakes too soon on that one, I get off the track.
You're like playing with death and you barely dip a tire. Tim always likes to.
Are you second here or third? Oh, I left it. Still there?
I'm second. Kevin, you need to start working on your business negotiations with Frank.
Haha, right. There we go. Switch our brakes here.
Brian, are you third at the top of the hill on that right-hander or second?
Right-hander, top of the hill, like turn green.
Yeah.
Third.
Third.
Usually, unless I screw up the entry, then I can drop down to second.
You're right.
Oh, hey, Andres, that's awesome. Excuse me. That is really awesome.
What's really awesome?
What's that?
I said, what's really awesome?
Oh, he won the SimLab. He won red.
Oh, nice.
So he's retiring his Deathmobile.
Frank just shakes his head.
I'll be right back, guys.
Oh, sure. Okay. You know what? We had that mic issue. Can I turn my fan back on? Because I can't say that I'm enjoying myself right now. And no one's paying me to drive, so I should be enjoying myself.
Yeah, Robby, you're glad that you're not driving this thing.
I probably am.
We improved our lap time, but it did not move us on the board, which shows you how secure the top 5
Everyone.
is, or how separated the top 5 is. Oh, we're right there. We're nipping at the heels.
I don't want to hear about it.
All right, I'm going to turn on my fan, and then everybody's going to tell me if this is miserable. The other is, now is when we normally take the dog out. Actually, we're a half hour. This is actually good timing. Take one more cool down, and then come back and give it our best effort. Ooh, we got dropped down. Andrew Slisson's snuck in and jumped up into the top 5.
Negative, Captain. I am here with you. Sorry about that. I had to make some adjustments here on my rig for a moment there.
Well, I can't walk away from Kevin's.
Yeah, that's right. No, buddy, I got the mic. Yes, indeed, indeed. So let's talk, Brian. We're coming down into the final 30 minutes of the event tonight. You find yourself in P2, 2/10 now off of Mr. Elvis Rankin. Shaun, grab that mic, buddy. Come back. Fix that headset. Okay, whoop.
Wow, that's loud.
Boy, that fan gets a hold of that. Yeah.
Man, no fan for Shaun.
Yeah. Gosh, Shaun, you've worked so hard all these years to have fans, and we're having to shut it down.
This sucks.
What a bummer.
All right, can you hear that
good.
fan?
Negative. You sound good and clear now, but I'll yell if we do.
You sure? I hear it.
No, not so much. I think we're good. It's not keying your mic, so that's good.
Okay.
Well, Max did.
Can you remind people to watch for people on flyers?
Yes, I can certainly do that. Not a problem.
Hey guys, just a quick reminder out there. Of course, this is a friendly event. We're out here to have a good time tonight. Let's make sure we keep that F3 situation box up. I call it that because, well, it helps your situation awareness coming out of the pits. Also, if you are a driver on an outlap, let's make sure that we yield to the drivers that could be on hot laps behind you. That's another big one. It's always a nice courtesy to keep that up out there tonight. Let's make sure that we're keeping our sportsmanship level at a premium for tonight's event. We're all after the same thing, and that's to have a good time, have some fun, and hey, and the way we might actually win a t-shirt and possibly be entered for a drawing. So let's give everybody the best opportunity to be at that mark. So keep that courtesy up out there on track tonight. Thank you.
Hey, Kevin, I'm stepping away, but I have a TV camera on Andrew Slissons, who came into the room and jumped right up to P3.
Yes, he sure did, as usual. Yep, I've got Andrus locked down. I'm live on him as he's traveling up through the S's there. Out of turn 5 to hit that little short chute. Boy, that is a dangerous spot on the track. Brian, that portion of the track there, is that just as... yeah, no problem, Shaun. We'll talk to you here in a bit. Brian, you drove this track back in 2014. Talk to me about that exit out of turn 5. Is it as daunting as it is in real life?
He's AFK.
Hey, Shaun, we're picking you up on the mic there, buddy. We're picking you up on the mic, Shaun.
Deliveries are good.
Shaun? Hello, Shaun.
It doesn't matter. He ain't got his ears on.
Oh, goodness.
Did you hear me, Kevin?
Well, we're going to be entertained by Shaun's break time. Yeah, go ahead, Elvis.
Yeah, so Brian stepped away.
Oh, he did step away. Okay, gotcha. Copy that. Oh, he's back. All right. Brian, we were just, gosh, I'm trying to remember what we were chatting about, actually.
Turn 5?
Yeah, turn 5. Sorry about that. Yeah, so, yeah, we were talking about Andrew Slissons as he was traveling up out of turn 5 on that last lap, and ironically, he's coming back down through the S's now, as we see on the screen. That exit there, is that as daunting in real life as it is on the sim?
Yes and no. I think in real life I have a little bit more of a feel for it.
Okay, as we see Andrus losing it there. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. And of course, I'm sure you guys are far more cautious. You know, in sim, we certainly don't have near the post effects, if you will, from getting loose coming out of turn 5 as you do in real life. So certainly, you guys probably don't push the limits quite as hard either. But yeah, that do you get that kind of thrashing coming up out of that corner there on that exit?
Oh yeah, for sure. If you use it hard enough, you'll feel the car bottom out.
Yep.
And it doesn't feel nice for the car, but you know, if you need it on your qualifying lap and it doesn't, drop your pace too much to recover from whatever happens after it bottoms out, you might use it a time or two.
Sure.
But
Sure.
For the most part, you probably abuse the curb a little bit less in real life than you do in iRacing.
Sure.
Unless it's changed since I last drove it, which is entirely possible.
Well, it seems over time that the damage model is continuing to improve, obviously, as it should. iRacing being known for taking, a substantial amount of time in some of these critical areas of change. And I think one thing that I've realized over time, we're all impatient. We all sit here and we want instant gratification. We've all been the ones going, when is iRacing going to develop this? Where's rain? Where are all these things at? Being an avid user of iRacing for many years and being so heavily involved in a lot of the real motorsports sanctioning bodies and us being fortunately a part of helping them run some of their sim series, one thing that I have found is the tedious time that they put into it. It's almost the Brian Heitkotter effect, if you will. They take a lot of time in detail with bringing some of these features forward, and I know the damage model is certainly one that they want to get right. It is going to take some time for that to really get refined, but to find that point of that threshold of reaction of the damage model hitting some of these curbs, it is certainly improving over time. So from when you drove in 2014 to now, yeah, there's certainly a dramatic difference.
Yeah, plus I was in a front-wheel drive car at the time, so if anything happens, you just floor it and steer where you want to go, and you're all good.
Yep, exactly. Typical front wheel, right? Good stuff. Yeah, well, the next time we run the Kia Optima, I'll give you a holler.
There you go.
The TCR?
Yeah, or the TCR, yeah. Did you have a lot of time inside the front wheel world of motorsports much at all?
Yeah, actually, no. It was just that 1 year.
Really?
The rest of the time
Interesting.
it was all rear-wheel drive, yeah. It was definitely an education, on how to change my driving style, because I always drove, like most people, rear-wheel drive cars in sims, and the first couple years of my real-life racing career were in 370Zs, so I'm hopping into this front-wheel drive Ultima. I've got to relearn how to do a lot of things differently and adjust my timing and all that good stuff.
Robby, you ever have an experience with some front wheel car? You have. Okay, well, I'm impressed actually, because I can't see you driving a front wheel car. But go ahead.
I liked it. I just said I did it.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Good stuff.
Can I ask an iRacing newbie question?
Absolutely, go right ahead.
Well, on the dash on this BMW, there's like a tire pressure readout, and it looks like they're yellow for a couple of laps. Does that mean they're too low on pressure or
A little low.
Yep.
Pressure.
Gotcha.
Same as it would be on your dash.
Maybe I should bump those up a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, I would try it and see.
Well, if you want your quick lap, it just means if you want your, you follow what I'm saying? If you want your pressure, but you're still going to end up growing, look at your first page and see what you are hot compared to cold.
Are you adjusting tire pressures?
I'm just looking at them, trying to figure out what the display means. What's a good target hot pressure in iRacing?
Well,
Who's that question to?
Anybody?
That is
I
to
don't
you,
know.
Elvis. Actually, we've been waiting for your response.
I don't know what good hot pressure is. That's a Zach question, or
Right.
another Apex guy, not mine.
Yeah, and Brian, I honestly can't bring that information forward. I've not been in this car, not only particularly, but it's been a while since I've been on track. I never thought I'd be so heavily involved in a sim and not actually drive anymore. Yeah, we can throw that question out there to any of our drivers that happen to be listening to the broadcast in the background. If they could throw a hot temperature at us that feels at least somewhere in the proper zone. This hour brought to you by Shaun in the background. Clock ticking away here, and so are the clock times on the board as we find Elvis Rankin moving right up to a 118.330. Ryan Heitkotter still sitting about 2/10 back, and Andrew Slizen still maintaining that P3, but I tell you, he's knocking right on the door here of Mr. Heitkotter with his 118.684. He's less than a thousandth of a second now away from Mr. Heitkotter up there in P2. John Harrison, our first driver back in the 19s with a 119 flat, a .034. David Clymer now working his way up into P5. What a run he's having tonight. Just really very few laps out there for Mr. Clymer as he's worked his way up quite rapidly with just 25 laps under his belt with a 119.202.
I can't go flush.
Hey, Shaun Cole, if you have a copy. I don't think he does.
This is the
I
streaming
think
quality
he
of
has
the
his mic
system.
sensitivity way too high. Or I should say way too low, rather. It's picking up everything. We still have an eye on Andrew Slizzens there out on track as he comes down that very fast drop-off into the final corner and crossing that stripe his last time, coming in with a 118.618. And Andrus still trying to chase down Mr. Brian Heitkotter, still 1/10 off. Brian, I've heard so much about this track in real life when it comes to turns 11 and 12. The famous hill there, up and over the hill, under the bridge, and to grandmother's house we go. Landing at the bottom of that hill, what are the G-forces coming down that drop-off?
You know, I don't remember them being too extreme, to be honest.
Okay, it's such a gradual thing in the crest there.
And I wasn't driving a high downforce car. I bet a prototype would be pretty mental through there.
It is.
Yeah, I would imagine. Now, Robby, I don't know how far back you can speak, but I know at one time this course really just had a straight shot up that hill. You did drive that. Tell us about that. Oh my goodness.
Crazy. Yeah, you just went down the back chute and it was just freaking like a little S right into that thing.
Oh. Yeah, you must have almost bottomed out through that S to come up that hill at that point.
It wasn't so bad as that. It was more that you had so much speed at the top under the bridge. It was, you had to really adjust how to slow down.
It almost a reminder of Lime Rock.
Yeah, worse.
Worse because of the high speed impact. Yeah. So in that situation, does the car get light?
Oh yeah.
So So you're almost having to counter steer when you come back down onto the track surface.
Yeah, you look at the old Pan Am cars that used to go over that turn, and man, it was crazy.
Yeah, just fighting that wheel, isn't it? Yeah. Huh.
Wow, fighting the car just sliding, and there's just no room for
Yeah, you're just on slip angle all the way down that hill.
Yeah, you have to know where you're at, or you just. It was one of the scarier things I did. I mean, you were flying through there.
Sure. Holy smokes, yeah.
Ah, I can't go flush.
Oh, Elvis Rankin just pounding away at that clock with a 118.298. Just chipping away at it. Brian Heitkotter still sitting there at a 118.502. But my gosh, what a showing out of all three of these drivers. Now, I'm going to make it 4 drivers. The number 14 of Jason Gata has moved himself up into the 118s with a 118.999.
Oh, can't go flush.
That's flat through turn 1, right?
Well done, Jason. Well done. Represent.
You said it's flat through turn 1.
I don't know. Elvis says he can't go flat somewhere.
I said I can't go flush.
What is flush? That's a good
Flush is like very, very close to your optimal.
Flush is what now?
So like if you take all your best sectors put together in this session, that's called an optimal. So when I say I can't go flush, that means I'm too far off my optimal. And when I say I am flush, that means I'm very, very close.
Okay.
Sim racer terms.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a new language for us old guys, Robby. Beautiful Rassleton, Georgia here tonight, just outside of Road, Atlanta. Want to send a big thank you to Ricmotech here tonight, bringing all of the Ricmotech race marshals and corner marshals out this evening. You see them all around the course here in their beautiful orange gear.
They haven't even demanded a lunch break.
They have not. They have not. These guys have been troopers. That's what you get when you hire the Ricmotech race marshal crew.
Wow, this is far from flush.
What'd you say, Sean?
I said, well, this is far from flush.
4 tenths. Right now my PB's 3 tenths from flush.
Shaun Cole heading down into turn, or out of turn 12 there, turn 12 there, heading down the front straight into turn 1. Shaun looking to improve on his time.
What, Robby?
Oh, Shaun.
Nice.
Elvis, do you have it versus all-time optimum or what?
I have it versus session optimal.
Say that again?
Session optimal.
Optimum for the session.
Session optimal lap, yeah.
Gotcha.
And then you can actually do sector, and it will reset per sector, so you don't see the delta bar go like half second green. It will maybe be at 2 tenths max. 3 tenths max.
It's the 214.
Teaching Robby the sim racing tools now that he has, like his optimal and his relative bar.
I see 2 Simpit cars out there back to back, Mr. Shaun Cole and Mr. David Clymer. These two always battling it out, it seems, every single month. Man, do they put on a show. And right now we're watching Mr. Clymer behind Shaun here, and we'll see how this plays out. Mr. Clymer trying to get a little slipstream, I bet, off of that familiar number 39.
Here we go, this one's pretty flush.
Ah! Beep. Beep.
There we go.
Me on all the time.
Right.
Never hear me talk.
There we go. That's a little flush.
Right, well, I don't know what that is.
I am still not driving very well.
Was that you, Elvis, spinning off of there?
That was me.
No,
Oh.
it wasn't me. I don't spin. I'm kidding.
I couldn't tell if it was you a climber. You both came through there. No, climber's in front of me. Okay.
The climber did not spin. I chose to spin. Frank, are you still here?
No, he left.
He'll be back.
He'll be back!
He can't go on without us.
Shaun, jump behind me. Take some of my draft. Get some experience, you know?
I have a lot of laps here, so my problem is not so much experience as much as just getting somewhere. I'll let you ride it straight.
You know what I'd like to see is Shaun do an episode on coaching.
Because those who can't teach, is that why?
That'd be interesting.
Simpit's kind of bounced around with a bunch of different formats. And going back to roots, that was a lot of what originally was going on.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to get back to some other stuff like that. And to be honest with you, me doing the Deathmobile was sort of a first step towards getting back to the old Simpit routines. So,
Yeah, I used to love when you would do shows on braking techniques, and you used to draw things out on the board, and it was great. I mean, you had some really cool things you did way back in the early days.
Thank you. Yeah, it's time.
I used to love that. Oh yeah, I was an avid fan of the show. I mean, I was always trying to improve. I was this was pre iRacing days, and obviously back on R Factor and remember Eastern Creek,
Exit
the track.
Sure.
Yeah, that was a great course, man. I used to love that on R Factor. Great track.
Shaun, are you X'd or are you fine still?
I'm fine. I had hit a curve and it sent me wide.
I'm just trying to back up so I don't run into these two guys on my hot lap.
I'm just trying to interfere with Shaun's ability to get a good lap time.
Yeah, I finally have somebody out there to help me. Kevin's got to start the mouth.
You betcha, buddy. Hey, it's become a part of our show, my friend.
Kevin, can you give us one lap of silence?
No, we can't.
I don't think that's possible, buddy.
I think it is.
As we watch Elvis and Shaun diving through 10A and B and up over the hill through the infamous turn 11, over the crest, down into turn 12 here as we see them come across the stripe. And Shaun trying to take advantage of every little bit of slipstream here to try and nail the best time he can on this next lap. Shaun Cole coming in a little hot into turn 1, probably because I was running my mouth, a little heavy on the brakes there, and unfortunately Shaun losing out on that opportunity. Oh, Shaun, let's give it another go here. This time, I will keep my mouth
right.
shut.
I've been doing that all night long in turn 1, though.
You have. It didn't occur because of me, because I have seen you do it many times without my assistance. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm just stabbing the brake and sending it around. It's just stupid.
Hey, I've seen worse brake inputs, I'm not gonna lie.
Whoa, come on!
Oh, Shaun. It's just that curb. Just catching that curb wrong there.
One more.
No.
I'll give you one more chance, okay?
Alright. I'm gonna switch to my other rig. Can I switch to my other rig for the final?
Sure. Well, what wheel are you on now, Shaun? Are you on a semi-Q or an AccuForce?
Force? Semi-Q.
Watch out, let this guy go.
Sorry, I didn't see.
Let them get a gap. Come back as far up to we can to John as possible, and then we'll launch it. Oh, well this guy threw it off, so that's gonna make our space much more better.
I am not blaming the wheel, by the way. It actually isn't the wheel at all. It's just not very chill and relaxed for some reason.
Deep breath.
It's the heat. No, it's just the heat. It caught me out of nowhere this week. It just completely wiped me out. I ran a marathon or something.
I got a story to tell you after this 3 laps.
All right, guys, get it done. Get it done.
It got darker. I can actually see your brakes now.
What the hell is this?
Sorry for the tap, Jose.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
Oh, no.
Not my fault! No.
Hey, Brian,
Just
what's your brake bias you finally ended up on, Brian?
I've still been playing around with it. I'm about 51.7 still, which was the default.
All right.
Nah,
I
this
think
is a
52,
flash.
it's a little too far forward, and 51.4, it's a little sketchy in the one. I think that's the best compromise for me. I haven't really made progress on the setup either. I've tried a few things.
I haven't
kinda
either.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
You know what? I'm gonna ship some things off share one of these. Just try it if you don't mind.
Ken's going into the alternate pit lane.
Actually, I know what I didn't do. Cole. I know what I didn't do. Tommy! You think that's gonna do it?
So Brian,
Oh.
I shared mine, what I'm on with you, and it was a sprint
All right.
setup I found.
Cool. Thanks, Robbie. Yeah, I'll
Try
try
a
that in a
little.
minute.
That's great, Tommy. I love it.
Alright, so
Yep.
15.9, our ride height right now is 3.15. That's what we didn't do.
8 minutes. 8 minutes and counting, guys.
And I think we decided 6 gallons is gonna do it? No.
I'm on 10.
I think 9 should do it. We're getting 0.74, I think I heard. So,
I'm showing 8.5
Good fight.
gallons needed to get it done. It should require 9 gallons.
Yo, I'm.
no, that wasn't much. That didn't change the ride height at all.
No, that was the.
Well, I'm on 10 with that setup I set for you, Brian. It might be heavy.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna.
But
finish
I have
the
a
lap or
tendency
two.
to run up, so.
Okay, there we go. That should be our forever set for the race. Oh, now that's super nice of you. You're actually giving me chances now. Okay. We can do this. I think our lap times are actually fine if we can put them together. So usually running in a crowd will help me do that just a little bit. Make me back down my braking marks early.
No!
That's my problem. I'm driving this thing. I've been bouncing around a lot of cars this week. I've been driving the Formula V, the Formula 3, and the Mustang, and then this. And I'm just stabbing the brake and not letting I got to get off the brake way earlier. Brake like half as much as I am. Get off the brake and let the car roll to apex and then pick up the gas. I'm trying to brake it all the way to apex like it was the V-dub.
How much time's left?
6 minutes. 6 minutes remaining.
Bro, I was tracking a 17.8!
Let's look at that leaderboard real quick. Actually, real quick, we played the Ricmotech home video, so we still have a few minutes. Ricmotech, I believe this aired on television, if I'm not mistaken. Do you know, Kevin?
It may, yeah. Well, we've had a couple that have actually aired on television.
So,
yep.
Let's check this out real quick.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered.
A masked Brian Heitkotter.
Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
Brian Heitkotter. All right, that was the Ricmotech commercial that I think recently aired. Where is Frank? Where is that masked man?
Yeah, Frank had to step away. We expect him to be back here shortly. We hope he'll be able to return.
So what's our over-under on our positions? Robbie's in 10th. Looks like he's in.
Yep.
Kenneth Jensen in 11th. Looks like he's in.
Yep.
Brandon Trossel.
Yep, Brandon Trossel is a new driver to the Hotlap Humpday Challenge, out here for round 6 of 2021, and that number 16. He has him a 120.431, so he's the one sitting on the bubble if it were to go to the feature as we stand right now. He rounds out the top 12. Of course, Elvis ranking up there at the top, and our special guest tonight, Brian Kai. Boy, Brian, what's your name again? Mr. Brian Heitkotter out here tonight with us. Great to have Brian, sim phenom. Brian having just an incredible motorsports career after starting his career in sim racing many years ago. For those of you that happened to catch the GT Challenge that took place on television back in 2011, and I believe it was the first year of Gran Turismo doing that, was it not, Brian?
First year for the U.S., yeah.
Yeah, for the U.S., right, yep. So Brian, the winner of that event, and had quite a career to follow, and amazing opportunity to continue his racing career, and still out there today racing in the motorsports world. So great to have Brian out here with us today, and we're hoping to bring him back out for some more of these events as we get into the second half of 2021. So everyone knows we have 3 minutes remaining in our pre-qualifier, and the way this event goes down, drivers come into this event each third Wednesday of the month. They do not have any idea what car or track is going to be brought before them. So it really brings the talent, separates the men from the boys, if you will, an opportunity to go out there for some pride and also to win one of those really nice Ricmotech Racing Simulator t-shirts. I love donning mine out around the city here and get a lot of compliments with the funny little sim racing saying on the back. Very clever saying. So take a look at the Ricmotech.com website if you want to see those t-shirts. Also, tonight we're going into a dual 15-minute event. The first 15 minutes is going to contain all of the drivers in our session tonight, which will be the top 15. Those drivers will go out on track. They'll race in a 15-minute event here, and they'll try to get into the top 12 because 3 of the drivers will not make it into the feature race, which will contain a reverse of the top 10. So drivers finishing 1st through 10th in our first heat race will have to start in opposite position for the final event. So the 10th place driver will start on the pole. And well, Shaun Cole and Robby Unser are holding down 9th and 10th. They will make up our front row if they place as they stand right now in qualifying. Just 1 minute remaining, 1 minute remaining here as we wind down to the final minute of qualifying for our event.
That's Brian Heitkotter watching on track. And Robby.
Well, I haven't run more than 3 laps. So, okay. Don't be fun.
Well, I can tell you, Robbie, this setup feels better on full tires than mine did.
Yeah, this always happens. I'll get a good setup. I suck, but you'll go good.
Kevin, I need a motivational speech to do a 17.
Elvis Rankin, you have the power within you to get it done. Concentrate, think, patient.
Get yourself a Peloton. They'll psych you up. Come on, Elvis, you can do it.
Alright, I'm hyped up now. I can do
it. You don't need more of that.
We're good. We're gonna get that.
Has expired. Checker flag to all
How much time do I got left?
track. If you have already crossed the line, you are on your final lap. That lap still counts. So if you are on your final lap, bring it around to the line. The 01 cars, you are on your final lap. .05, you will receive the checker at the line.
I'll tell you, Robbie, on your setup, I'm running, I changed to the high friction brakes and 51.4 on the bias. It feels a little better going down into the chicane.
Car 5, you receive the checker.
Alright, I'm ready to race. I'm race ready.
Can everybody be quiet for half a lap, please?
Car 242, you have seen the checker.
Never
Car
mind,
66, you have seen the checker.
Elvis, you are done. 01, you are done.
Oh, I can't. Can I finish the lap or?
Negative. Bring it into pit road, please.
Oh, I did not know.
Thank you, Tommy. I'm going to do my best. Joa, I'm going to do my best. I'd hate to lose you as a teammate for our upcoming season.
How much fuel do we need?
9 is what I'm going with.
9 gallons.
9.
Okay, I was about to say 9 liters. That seems a little...
Oh, yeah, no, I'm in...
slim. I'll go 10. Since this thing's a little better with some weight in it.
Whoop.
Alright, I'll be right back.
All right, drivers, let's bring those cars on the pit road. Track is red flag at this time. Track is red flag at this time. We will go ahead and begin our staging here for our event this evening. We'll go down some of the rules here in just a moment. We have about 23 seconds until we switch over to the grid. Again, drivers, all of you are in tonight's event.
It's
We're
not
taking
far
the
off
top 20 tonight. We have 15 drivers competing in tonight's Hotlap Humpday Challenge. At this time, if we can clear the track back, we need the track cleared at this time. Red flag, red flag.
I don't know exactly, but it's probably like, it's the S's, basically.
Okay. Like from the top, maybe the top of the hill coming down or something.
Yeah. It feels good. I keep losing 2 or 3 tenths there for some reason.
I'm back.
You're on it way freaking better than I am, cause. Maybe I should open my eyes, cause I don't even see sector time. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you can take out. I lowered back to like 5.
Do you want us on the grid, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to do what you did in Daytona, Sean.
Right. You want to race? Okay.
I want to go fast.
Well, good thing about where we're at is there's only one direction for us to go. Well, I guess we could go backwards.
Oh, pace car's right there.
I think both Kenneths need to watch out behind our Kenneth and Brandon. Who all is behind us? No.
So I just realized something, that nobody that's like been an invitee to the Simpit has ever won.
What do you mean?
Am I wrong about that?
You were invited, Elvis?
No. See, I'm not like a booth guy. I don't know what I am. But
Elvis, stand by 1 second, buddy.
A party crasher. So you're saying me? Wait, Sean, Brian, myself, like that? Is that what
like Zach and those guys, yeah.
Yeah.
I will be your race marshal for tonight's event. We do expect some clean racing out there, and I don't doubt that. You guys had great sportsmanship in our pre-qualifier tonight. Again, let's keep the situation awareness up. Let's keep the race as clean as possible. I will keep an eye on any aggressive behavior out there on track, but we don't expect it. If you do end up in an incident, there is one fast repair for each driver. However, if you are not able to bring your damaged car back to the pits and into the pit box for your fast repair, you are disqualified. So in other words, if you have to use that tow button, well, unfortunately, that will actually pull you out of the event. You will be disqualified at that time. Otherwise, get that car back around to the pits, get that fast repair done, because it looks like with a small field tonight, everybody may actually make it into our final feature event. So the top 12 cars out of this race will go into race 2. Again, if a driver wrecks, you have to reset and you have to use the tow button, you will be disqualified. So the goal here is to get the car back to pit road to get that fast repair.
So what is it? Porsche, BMW? What's the front look like there? Get a car run down.
One of each.
Yeah,
Porsche on the pole, BMW on the outside.
And then what's third and fourth?
I can't see now.
Looks like Beamer, right?
Yeah.
I can't tell which is the Falcon car a Porsche? Here in front of me?
Yeah, that's a Porsche. And the two in front of him are Porsches.
Are we
all
racing on
BMWs until Elvis.
There's a Porsche in P4.
P4 and P3, right? Yeah, 3 and 4
No,
Porsches.
P1 and P4, that's it.
Oh, P1, P4. There you go. 4, and then
Kevin,
6,
put yourself on race control channel.
6 and 7.
Yes, Brian, with 2 races with an inverted grid.
Is
But
it on
only,
green or leader, Kevin?
a select group from the
iRacing.
Hotlap. So 40 people have been here, only like
Going
half of us.
on iRacing Green. Going on iRacing Green.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Sean, you better watch out. That dude next to you in the Beamer's a real space shot, man. I'm just telling you.
It's like he doesn't even open his eyes when he drives.
Dude is like really on crack. Just saying, be careful.
So we watch the field come up through turns 2 and 3 here. The battle begins as we see Elvis Rankin leading the troop here, heading down into turn 5. One of the most treacherous corners on exit here as they find themselves filing out. Brian Heitkotter holding down P2 now in that number 5 BMW. 2 manufacturers going head-to-head tonight. Purposely, we pinned these 2 together. 2 of the latest GT3 cars to make it to the iRacing platform. Elvis Rankin getting a nice run out of turn 7 there as we see the whole field streaming out onto this very long and very fast back straightaway. One of the most favorite parts of this track. And of course, my favorite corner coming down into 10A and B here as we watch the drivers heavy into the brake zone here as they funnel themselves down into these left and right hand switchbacks to head back up over into 11. And we see in the back of the field a couple drivers going side by side into 10A. That was Rankin now crossing the line, taking that first lap. Under his belt, we're expecting about 11 to 12 lap race here. So we see a battle happening back in P5 and 6. A little change of position there. Pete Manette and Jason Gotta going at it. Jason now taking over that P5 position. As he sits right now, the reverse grid of the top 10 for race 2, he would start where he's finishing.
If I hold you up, Sean, let me know.
No, you're good, you're good.
Going back through the field here, Robby Unser holding down P7. Very solid position here. Wants to maintain that. That would give him a good starting position for the final feature tonight. As it stands, that would put him P3 on the grid for race 2. Right behind him, Shaun Cole looking to get a little slipstream now off of the back end of that number 2 car. Legendary Robby Unser from the famous Unser family out here giving it a run in tonight's Ricmotech Hotlap Humpday Challenge. Round 6 for 2021 tonight here in Braselton, Georgia. Beautiful clear skies, had a few clouds early on. The drivers now getting into the early evening here in Atlanta, or just outside of Atlanta, if you will. We watch the cars just barrel down that big drop-off out of turn 11 into turn 12 and down that very fast straightaway into that beautiful right-hand sweeping corner that just brings those forces right up to the bottom of the car as you race up into turn 2 and 3 here. Heavy on the brakes through 2, that crazy little jog left-right, trying to get that car placed just right. We watch Robby Unser coming down through the S's. Looking out the windshield of Shaun Cole, we see a driver off to the right there. Pete Manette having a lot of trouble there. Coming out of 5, he gets across the track in between 2 of the drivers. Shaun Cole making a near miss there. Watching Pete Manette come back out on course. Pete in that number 10 Porsche here tonight. Driving that famous Faulkner paint scheme there on that Porsche. Jose Cabrera holding down, let's see what position. It's not giving me a position on him now. Jose may having some bad luck tonight facing that car. Kenneth Estep now up in P12, driving that number 66. As we get further up through the field, Darnell Williams doing a great job holding down P11. Damn it. P9 now held by Brandon Trossel. That may actually put him in, see as he comes across the stripe, we'll see if that position changes. No, he's still in P9, so Darnell Williams holding down P10. That means he would be our pole sitter for round 2. Jose Cabrera making a move now into P11. Kenneth Estep holding down P12.
Last down, Kevin.
Robby Unser still holding down P6. Shaun Cole right behind him in P7.
Why is the drop so strong?
Brian Heitkotter, 0.8 seconds back now off our leader. Ellis doing a tremendous job, keeping his composure as he always does. Certainly with a 15-minute sprint race, it brings a whole different element to the event. You're more up on the wheel as we watch quite the battle there happening between Mr. Clymer, Robby Unser. Robby Unser and Shaun Cole now traveling down into that very fast sweeper of turn 1, climbing that hill. Now coming around turn 2, heavy on the brakes into turn 3, the right-hander. Now down into 4 and 5. Car placement here is so critical. You want to get that right front wheel right close to that bumper on the right side. But both of these cars not liking to take the curbs here too much, as we see Shaun grab a lot of that left-hand curb out of turn 5. That may be the line that he prefers there. We're not sure, and we're not going to ask him.
How many laps is this race supposed to be?
That was a terrible exit.
About 12 laps, I believe. Elvis? Shaun Cole looking for that slipstream here. Watching him from the aerial view. Our viewers looking out the windshield as Shaun's right up on the back end. He's looking to the inside, going down into turn 10A. Can't quite get position, real close to tapping the back end of Robby. Decides to touch back, but Robby gets a little loose. Pushing that slip angle there on that left rear end coming out of 11 up over the crest of the hill. Car gets very light there. Shaun right up on the back end of Robby Unser coming down into turn 1 as we watch him race up the hill here. into that turn 2, 3, 4 complex. Whoa, Shaun getting right up on the back of Robby.
Sorry, I got in too deep. I told you that guy was a freaking squirrel, man. I don't know what to tell you. You're on your own.
What a great banter between these two.
I don't know why you're putting your car that close to that guy.
We see Shaun Cole laying back now a few car lengths, feeling much safer in that position, it seems.
I would.
Oh, there he goes. Robby getting a little dance there again off of turn 7.
This guy's inevitably going to crash. You just got to wait for
I'll tell you what. Hate to take my eyes off these two.
I'm going to start laughing and it's going to be over.
Yep.
Crash everywhere.
Watch it now, coming down into that heavy brake zone. Boy, Shaun just closing right up on the back of that number 2 car. Oh, I tell you what, these two really going at it as we see them race down the hill out of 11 into turn 12 here. Another corner, you got to be real careful with that curve on the inside. As we watch Robby Unser get loose. Oh no, Robby Unser into a major flip off the inside concrete barrier. Oh, that was big. Robby backing out of traffic. We recommend that he just lays on the brake there. We've got a lot of traffic coming down the front straightaway here. Robby's going to try and get the car going. He's got it started. Let's see if we can give him a clear signal here. Robby, I think you're clear at that point if you want to spin that thing around and bring it around one more lap if you can. Are you able to get it going?
Well, yeah.
Well, you're in the wrong pit lane, obviously. See if you can back her up there and spin around. I don't know if the car is capable of that. You got a lot of smoke pouring out of the front of that thing, but back to Robby Unser, back to Shaun Cole here as we travel back up through the field. A big move here happening out of 7. Brandon Trossel in that number 16. He's going to take over position there. Move ahead of, John Harrison rather, making a move on Brandon. Brandon and John battling it out as they head down the backstretch, heading into turn 10 and A. Another BMW Porsche battle as they're both heavy into the brake zone. Looks like Brandon's going to take over. No, it looks like John took over that battle for the moment. Brandon now coming over the crest of 11. Going to try to make up some ground there as he lost a little bit of time there, heading back down across the stripe. Showing about 10 car length gap now between the two of them going into one.
Hey, am I clear?
Let me check for you here. It looks like you are, where are you at? Where did you go?
I'm good.
You good? Okay, good deal.
Hey, how many make it to the main?
12 drivers advance to the main. 12 drivers advance to the main.
We're gonna need a little incident, Robby.
What's that?
You're gonna need an incident. You're 13th.
I know.
Pete Minette sitting on the bubble in that number 10 right now. P12 for Pete. Shaun Cole down into 10B now, trying to get a good run up over the crest of the hill. Shaun holding down P6. What a great position for him. That's going to put him P4, the outside of row 2, row 3 rather, for our final event. Ahead of him, David Clymer in that number 242, his Hotlap Humpday rival, if you will. Those two always battling it out.
Who's your rival, Kevin?
My rival? Well, my goodness, you know, I don't know that I have one right now. Most of my rivals put a hurting to me on the track, so don't know that they're much rivals anymore.
We don't have Jeff here, so we know that'd be it.
Yeah, Jeff was probably my biggest rival. Yep, Jeff and I always having fun. Yeah, speaking
Robby,
of Jeff.
there's 2-3 other cars in the pits. You have a chance.
Oh, look at this. Let's check our pit lane here. We do have another driver, Kenneth Estep. He's out of the event, it looks like. Or maybe he is trying to get a repair done on that car. Let me zoom in. See what, yeah, it could be he's just getting that fast repair done. Seems to be sitting there for quite some time, though. He may be out of this event. That is going to move Robby up. We'll see how that times out as Robby, we watched Shaun Cole coming into turn 1 as he's rounded out his last lap. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Jose Cabrera coming down pit road. He doesn't appear to have damage, but it could be a miscalculation on fuel.
That must be a big miscalculation.
It is.
Laps.
Jose coming into the pits here. He may have still had qualifying fuel in the car. Darnell Williams coming across the line. Elvis Rankin now heading down the backstretch in that 0-1. He's on lap 10 right now. Should be getting the white flags here soon. He'll have 2 more laps after this one here. He'll get 2 more laps. He will not get the white flag on this one.
Shaun, you're going to run out of gas. I'm 99% confident.
Yeah, we may have a situation here where drivers are having to get fuel.
Kevin lied about my
Well, my calculation showed.
This should be the white lap.
Nope.
Go to my left.
You're screwed.
Come on, flat mug.
Do you have the white, Shaun?
No. No one's gonna get the light. It says 100 laps.
Have you gotten the 2 laps left?
Fuel.
Yeah, you got 2 laps of fuel. When did you get it?
Hey, Robby.
Right as I cross the line.
That's it.
Oh, it is tight.
Yeah, we are down to 53 seconds. Our leader will get the white flag this time by. Brian Heitkotter holding down P3 tonight. Andrew Slissen's managing to get around Heitkotter. Brian having a great run in that BMW here this evening. Jason Gata in the Porsche now. Jason up there in P4. Looks like Genesis Sport driver. Great to see him out there with us tonight. That's going to put him starting P6 in our round 2 event. David Clymer in P5. Shaun Cole P6 tonight. That'll put him on the outside of row 3 for our feature this evening. All drivers should have the white flag. We've got a few more coming around from back of the field. P7, John Harrison, Brandon Trossel in P8. P9, Kenneth Estep. Pete Minette in a battle here.
Not a battle.
Oh, not a battle. Robby Unser, that's right. Robby having some unfortunate luck early on, but I see, was that Pete Minette going into the pits, struggling and actually catching the pit wall on pit entry. That's going to certainly hurt him at the end of feature 1.
Why did he pull in?
Because everybody's
running out of fuel. Everybody calculated a little bit low. And I hope it's not because of my recommendation, but at least it's even across the board. Shaun Cole still out there in P6. Shaun's still running.
We're going to make it. I back down to make sure. I was going to have to make up a lot of ground on Clymer.
Oh, did you have to? Okay, wow. Interesting. So it went an extra lap from my calculation. Thank you, Elvis.
No worries. Brian actually got P3, P2 because Andre ran out of fuel.
Oh, Andrew Slissen's running out of fuel coming down the front straight.
We finished with 0.3. All right, not bad.
Elvis Rankin getting the win as we watched Andrew Slissen's run out of fuel coming to the line. Jason Gata moving up into P3 tonight. David Clymer, look at that. David in that number 242 coming in P4. Andrews dropping all the way to P5 in that number 99. Andrews will be starting basically where he finished. Shaun
So
Cole in
showing
P6
me
will be
out
starting
at
on the
13.
outside
So,
of row
all right.
3. John Harrison coming in P7 tonight, and Brandon Trossel in P8. Both of those drivers will be starting on the inside and outside of row 2 for our feature event tonight. Back in P9, that's Pete Manette. Pete Manette having to pit late in that first heat race tonight, so Pete will be starting on the outside of row 1. And P10 tonight, Darnell Williams for that reverse grid for round 2. Pete will be our pole sitter for that second event. Kenneth Eastep and Kenneth Jensen, of those drivers will make it into the second race tonight. Unfortunately, Jose Cabrera and Victor Aponte will not be able to grid. Again, we are only allowing our top 12 drivers to grid for the second event. We have a 5-minute warm-up session. Drivers, the top 12, only the top 12 may go out and grid. Again, that will be the 01, the 05, the 14, the 242, the number 99, the number 39, the number 8, the number 16, the number 5, the number 10, the number 66, and the number 7. Again, that ends at the number 7 in P12. All 12 of you drivers may go out on track for our pre-feature warm-up.
Ask a question. So if the 7 has disconnected due to incoming packet loss, then what happens?
Yeah, if we have a driver that has dropped out or not available to run, we will move up to our next position. That would be the number 7 car. Kenneth Jensen, are you in the session? Kenneth Jensen, are you in the session? Please respond.
He's not. He got dropped out due to incoming packet loss, like I said.
Copy that. Copy that. All right, Kenneth Jensen is not available, so we will go to position 13. Again, position 13. That will now enter the number 2 car. The number 2 car, you now can pull out on track. Green flag practice for the number 2 car.
Kenneth, are you coming back in, or is that it? Because you're on the grid if you want it. He's having internet problems.
Okay, yeah, sorry to see that, Kenneth. We do appreciate you coming out, buddy. I know you're a regular in the series, so thanks for joining us.
You still have 3 minutes.
Robbie's like, yes!
3 minutes. 3 minutes remaining in pre-feature warm-up. Again, 3 minutes remaining.
3 minutes, all right. Then I should stretch.
I'll be right back.
Because I'm 50.
I've realized why I don't live in a sim, and I'm 13. And bad idea.
What's that?
That I've realized now why you don't live in a sim rig, as I'm now realizing.
Oh yeah, when you get old,
yeah,
your timeline sitting in this seat is like, okay, I'm not racing. Time to not sit in this seat.
Remember, Shaun, it's only 1 minute of grid time after the warm-up.
1 minute grid. Right, don't miss the grid. No, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere far.
Yes, remember, drivers, it is a very short grid time on the feature. For those of you that have not run heat racing, it is a short grid time. It will be 60 seconds. So when this switches over in 2 minutes, 2 minutes remaining in practice. Once those 2 minutes expire, you will have a 60-second grid. Again, a 60-second grid.
Let's go say hi to Greg and then we'll race.
Frank, you back with us?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Great to have you with us for our feature event tonight. I know you have many favorites in this this finale here for the June edition.
I do, so I can't play favorites, so I have to remain neutral.
Yes, exactly. Well, I can tell you that my top 12 favorites made it into the final 12.
Okay.
So you can see where my favoritism lies.
Yeah.
They're all outstanding. It's great to see some new faces out there tonight, though, Frank. Darnell Williams and Pete Manette, John Harrison, Jason Gatta. Great to see all of them out here this evening. Victor Aponte.
You know, we have just enough time. I can show that Ricmotech commercial one more time.
Hey, you know what? We do. We have 35 seconds. Let's roll it.
Got just enough time.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go.
Man.
Ricmotech.com.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. It's almost race time. Look at that. That's like perfect. My mom does not bring me my ice cream. No, she does not. It'd be quite melted by the time she got here. I adjusted the fuel. Thank you very much, Tommy. I could have easily forgot, but you know what? Let's double check because it's a crazy world out there. You know what? If you check, Murphy's Law says you won't have a problem. If you don't check, that's when, like, how come it didn't remember that I did? We finished with 0.3, so I added another half a gallon. I guess that's more than a liter. They're saying 1 more liter. So we should be good. All right, let's not miss the grid, though.
So is Kenneth in or not?
I don't see Kenneth. Kevin? Little help?
Yeah, I'm looking here.
Because it's not letting me go in if...
oh, it limited it only to 12.
Yeah,
and we're rolling.
That's all right.
Oh, it did?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there we go.
What happened to Carl? Someone
Oh,
just disappeared.
It did only limit to those 12 that
spot
Kenneth.
wasn't taken.
Yeah, because
So
his spot.
everybody
yeah.
on the right-hand side moves up a row.
Yep.
Dang it! Now I'm a row behind.
Sorry, Robbie. That's a bummer.
All right. Not for the guys I was going to wreck into.
You had it all planned, didn't you?
I don't plan to wreck into anybody.
Yeah, right. I know, right?
Just happened.
I know the feeling.
Just
Robbie.
happened, exactly.
It just yeah. That's why when I announced my retirement, everybody cheered for themselves, not for me.
Yep.
But when Robbie's racing, he will crash into somebody. It's in the rule book.
It's in the rule book, right?
I'll get to laughing, looking around.
Right.
Getting I'm innocent, whatever. But I have fun until then. Right up until that point, it's a lot of fun.
Oh, you know what we didn't do was switch cameras up top.
Yeah, the camera above Robbie.
Rolling shot? Can you do it while you're rolling shot or no?
Yeah, sort of.
Focus on leader.
Yep, that's what I did.
Woohoo!
As long as I don't rear end somebody at the same time, we're good. Alright, now I can't see chat, and that's probably good. I hope
Okay,
it's,
we'll read it to you.
I don't know if it's in sync.
What's sinking?
And we're coming to
The spectator view.
Yeah, we're good. We're live. Alright, that is the focusing on the leader.
All right, here we go. We have 6, 9, 10 cars funneling down into turn 1 here. Right now, it looks like Pete Manette is going to take over that lead. We've got a driver going off track at the rear of the field. Let's see who that was that actually got loose there. Brandon Trossel having an unfortunate start to his event. We come up through the field. We got a lot of drivers battling it out side by side. Jason Guile coming down through the S's here. It's getting crazy. Let's see how they fare. Looks like we've got a driver around in the back of the field.
Bro, I literally tried to go as fast as I could, and he absolutely crushed me through that round.
Back up to the front here. John Harrison holding down P4. David Clymer in P3 getting a good run out of 7. Jason Gotta, Kenneth Estep, Andrew Slizens, all battling it out here as they head down the backstretch for the first time. Andrew Slizens making the move on Kenneth now. Darnell Williams having a good run. Falling back a few positions here, though. Brandon Trossel trying to get rolling again as he had a bad start, as well as Pete Manette. We roll up to the front of the field. Elvis Rankin now holding down P10. Brian Cotter and P9, both of these drivers working together here.
Are you leading, Shaun?
Oh, I absolutely overtook that.
Oh, Brian Heitkotter is off turn wall and into the wall. The race officials are going to take a look at that one. We have cars all over here. Is now we see Elvis Rankin now coming down through the S's, holding down P3.
Wait, are you still in, Brian? Or...
Yeah, I'm not third. He's like.
All right, well.
Let's talk about the driver in P1, shall we? All of our viewers are looking out the windshield of nothing but clear real estate. Shaun Cole maintaining P1 here. This could be a big night for Shaun.
Sorry about that.
Right behind him is David Clymer, his nemesis in that number 242. David looking to do everything he can to make up that 1.7 seconds. Right now, back in P3, John Harrison, 1.3 seconds back from David Clymer. And a half a second back from him, we find Jason Gotta coming up out of 10B now, up over the hill out of 11. Jason and John Harrison going at it now. They're going to try to work together here to make up some ground. Although Jason looking to make a move down into 1. He needs to hold it down to the bottom, and the two of them come together. Oh, just an unfortunate racing incident. Jason able to hold on to it. Get on the brakes here, buddy, as we find him backing up to the wall. He gets it back in gear. He's starting to pull back out onto the track there. An unfortunate feature event for the first time attendee of Jason Gotta. So another big position change here. So now we see Kenneth Estep and Pete Manette going at it. Kenneth having to now surrender the position to Pete. Kenneth getting even more pressure from behind out of Brandon Trossel. We go back to the front here. We still find John Harrison up here. Elvis Rankin trying to make a move on Andrus Slizens down into 10A. Andrus gives him the room. Makes a smart decision there out of Andrus to drop back in behind Elvis. Maybe the two of them can work together, get themselves back up towards the front. David Clymer now looking to feel the pressure here very soon with just over 10 minutes remaining. Elvis now 2.4 seconds back. About 4/10 off of David Clymer. David feeling the pressure now. Clymer doing everything he can to get every inch of that speed up out of 5. As Elvis Rankin is doing everything he can to close that gap. We see both cars going through this double right-hand complex of 6 and 7. Elvis getting a beautiful run out of 7 there. Really nailing the rotation in that apex. Shaun Cole with a 1-second lead now over David Clymer, trying to maintain that distance, heading down into the difficult break zone of 10A. This is where it gets difficult. Stand by. Negative.
No?
Why would you need to yield? Not seeing where you would need to yield?
Well, I did not just take a guy out in turn 1, so.
Let me go back.
Oh, I'm going.
Yeah, he said race control hasn't gotten to that technically yet.
Okay. I like yielded a bunch of spots. I was gonna wait for him, but he was way. He was a lot further back than I thought he was.
Yeah, you better stop. It's a good pullover point right here.
I'm good. Unless they tell me to. Bro, I already pulled over.
Yeah. You can pull over again. It's okay.
If that's how you're gonna win, Sean, that is fine.
Hey, at this point, I gotta do whatever. I need a shirt. I'm going at a pace that Slissons is gonna be back in again.
You're safe.
I'm safe. Okay.
Yeah, it was a racing accident.
Well, I gave up a bunch of time for nothing, but...
Well, you were next to him. You slid up a little, but he was coming down.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a racing incident. You guys just came together.
Alrighty. Have fun. Happy.
You guys can probably just put on some driving music or something.
Oh, he just took out,
So climber just now.
I'm straight somehow.
Yeah, your left front's dinged up, but it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look like it's tired.
Nah, we're good. It's still straight and it still has grip through the right handers. Well,
Yeah, it's just gonna be arrow one. Turn one will push just slightly.
Elvis Rankin working his way back up through this field, trying to chase down that number 39, the Simpit driver of Mr. Shaun Cole. The incident between the 0-1 and the 5 car have been reviewed. There is no action.
Go faster, you know, Sean?
Can I go faster?
Probably want you to.
Shaun heading up into that very difficult brake zone. That right-hander of 3 now down into the left-hander of 4 and through the S's. Pressure is on with 6.5 minutes remaining as that 0-1 of Elvis Rankin from Apex Racing is climbing up lap by lap, inches by inches.
Sean, the only thing I ask is let's just not wreck in the same spot as last time, okay?
What last time?
Right up here at this kink right on the straightaway.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Yeah. That was a too wide moment, wasn't it?
It was.
It was funny. Chat got a little angry at me for it, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, the 39 car doing a little dance for us there, coming out at 10A. Or 10B, rather. Now we watch the two of them stacking up here. We can see in the mirror Elvis Rankin showing that Apex Racing team colors to the back end of that 39.
I turned
right
my
up on the
mirror off
heels.
just so you know
What?
I turned my mirror off so I have no idea what you're doing.
You seriously did that strat?
I'll spot you.
No, I respect it. I respect it. Because you know I'm not going to hit you.
I'm just driving my line.
Yeah, I've run a tight line.
Rankin states that no contact will happen. Let's see. Both drivers coming into 7 here. Very critical corners. We see that 39 taking a lot of curve. Both drivers getting a great exit. Robby, you take it from here, buddy.
No, you've got that. I'm just.
Oh, okay.
Or Elvis, whichever one.
Oh, here we go.
Okay,
the 01. Looking to the left side.
Yeah, off your left.
That's where we wrecked last time.
He's going in. He's got you.
The 01 takes it in deep. 39 climbs right in behind him. What a beautiful move by the 01. And great driving by both drivers. Dutch finesse, the way the 39 car dropped his nose right back into the back of the 01. 01 moves to the inside to protect, maintains the lane, so that is not blocking, as long as he does not come back a second time. '39 car trying to hang tight there with the 01. Frank, give us a rundown here. The 01 car is already a prior winner, correct?
Correct.
Shaun just finished, bro, and you're in that $500 sim equipment thing.
So the invite to the finale would go to second place if the race were to end now. Yep.
So for our viewers out there, the $500 sim racing equipment prize from Ricmotech goes to the winner of each one of these 11 events. If the driver...
Not each one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not each one. Entry. Let me back up. Boy, man, I tell you what.
No, you won't, dude.
That mic hit the floor pretty quick. The drivers receive an invitation from each one of the 11 events to win the big prize at the end of the year. That's where I was going. Exactly. So if a driver has won twice, they don't get a second invitation. It goes to the second place finisher. If that driver has an invitation already, it then goes to the third place driver. So as it's sitting right now, that beautiful blue and orange golf color number 39 of Shaun Cole, he's going to find himself in that championship in December if he can maintain this pace and be able to keep that car nice and clean here for a matter of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's all you have, Shaun. No pressure, buddy.
Oh, you're just no
Shaun! Hold on to that car!
No!
Get going, buddy! Get going! Get going! Come on!
Why would you say that?
I hate you, Kevin Ford.
I know it! Oh, man. Oh, boy. Yep. I have done it once again. Andrew Slizzens now trying to close in on that 39 after that slight mistake. But it appears on my screen that Andrews has some damage on the front end of that car. And it looks like John Harrison is actually closing in now on Andrew Slizzens, who is in P3.
Wow. What a turn of events, huh?
Now, Andrew Slizzens already also has an invitation.
Exactly.
So Shaun falls to third. Shaun still gets the invite.
But if he falls to fourth, he doesn't.
But if he falls to
would you
fourth,
guys
he's
shut
out.
up?
If he falls to fourth, he's out.
Did you say fourth? Could be a losing opportunity for Shaun.
And you said that right around he was in turn 1, which is the most deadly corner in this car.
This will be white flag by, or white flag next time by. White flag next time by.
Oh, Pete, no. Oh, what's happening over there with Pete?
Oh, Pete finds himself in trouble. It's the infamous turn 5, it looks like. It is, coming out of the S's.
Especially if you're me, dude.
Oh, that's unfortunate for the 10 car in that beautiful Porsche. Did everything he could, went into full wheel lock, got himself up against the wall there. That is unfortunate. This will be white flag here as we watch our leaders. Down into that heavy brake zone, the number 39 car still maintaining P2.
Sunday forgot how to drive.
Andrew Slizzens really fighting that damaged car here in P3. That familiar number 99 putting the chase on here. But again, the 99 is a prior winner. That takes a little bit of pressure off Shaun Cole.
01 is definitely not a prior winner.
I heard something about an 01 car.
The 01 is not a prior winner.
I hear that the 01 is not a priority. We are staying with the Shaun Cole car.
Dang! Dang! Okay.
Wow, this is a strange one.
Oh, the 01 car gets a little loose coming out of the turn 7 exit there. Doing it for attention. Doing it for attention, so we'll talk about him. Back to the 39 now of Shaun Cole as he heads down the backstretch. Andrus Slizzens getting real close. The 39 tries to break the slipstream. Not able to do it as they approach that very heavy and difficult break zone of turns 10A and B here at Road Atlanta. One last lap here through the course of Braselton, Georgia. As we watch the sun setting to the west, the number 39 coming over the crest and down the front straightaway for the checker flag. Great job for the 01 car, but even better job for the number 39. Great job, buddy.
You're not exactly up on live, but okay.
No, I'm not. I see that I'm behind a little bit there. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, that's great. Too funny. Yep, so the 01 car, Elvis Rankin, getting the win here
tonight. Yep, the 01 Elvis Rankin bringing home that Apex Racing Team Porsche to victory lane one more time. We like to see him do that every Monday night in that Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series, World Challenge, and Mazda Series. But tonight, it's all about the Ricmotech Hotlap Humpday Challenge. Elvis Rankin doing a great job bringing that 01 car
I should have
to
let Shaun
victory
win.
lane.
Somebody said they would
Second
donate
place
$50 if Shaun won.
Shaun Cole. Well, what a run for
Elvis.
him tonight. I tell you what, he maintained his composure. And tonight, Shaun Cole is going to get the actual win to put himself into the invitation to the championship in December, as the driver that took the victory tonight already has an invitation into that event. And we found back there in fourth place one of the drivers trying to make his way up into that opportunity, John Harrison. He just didn't quite have enough there at the end. So, Shaun Cole, what's your name there from the Simpit?
Shaun Cole, yeah.
Shaun Cole, yeah, great job out there in that familiar golf color, number 39. Bringing home that invitation tonight to the final championship at the end of the season. Want to send a big thanks to all of you guys out there. We do appreciate you coming out tonight. Pete Manette, Brian Heitkotter, thanks for joining us this evening. Our special guest here on the Simpit tonight. Brian, we do appreciate you coming out. We hope to see you in the next event. Unfortunately, you and Shaun playing bumper tag there in turn 1 this evening, but we'll look forward to seeing you back out here hopefully next month. Big thanks to Robby Unser for coming out tonight, as always. Yep. Robby bringing his machine out here tonight, having some fun. Always great to have you in the booth with us, Robby. Elvis Rankin, Elvis, great to have you with us tonight. I know that 01 car. I tell you what, you have quite the talent for being the youngster that you are. It's always fun to see you out here getting it down to business. Guys, thanks so much. All the rest of you out there, John Harrison, Jason Gotta, great to have you with us tonight. We appreciate your involvement in the Ricmotech Hotlap Humpday Challenge. Remember, guys, the third Wednesday of every month we get this done, and it is all about Ricmotech. Frank, thanks for putting this on for us every month. We do appreciate it. Thank you for joining us in the booth, and a big thanks to Mr. Shaun Cole for bringing the Simpit wagon out here and hosting the event. We do appreciate you guys, and again, go back and watch the event tonight. Brian Heitkotter joining us here, and if you didn't have a chance to see it in the background while you were out driving, make sure you watch the replay. A lot of great stories early on in the broadcast this evening. Thanks again to everybody. We'll look forward to seeing you next month. Thanks again.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Brian. Brian, awesome hanging out with you once again after so many years. Great job. You looked like you haven't missed anything. No dust to dust off there. You were flying out there. And great job to you. Robby, as usual, it was awesome hanging out with you.
Fun.
You and I had a really good battle going on there.
I know.
That was a lot of fun.
So really I pulled a Robby.
Brian, again, thank you, and like Kevin said, maybe you'll be able to join us in the future, and that would be cool.
I'd love to.
Well. Frank, I want to hear real quick. I want to once again show the Frank Ricmotech home real quick. Before we get off the air, let me show this, and then I'm going to come back with my closing excitement. So hold on.
I don't know, but that poor flagman, my gosh, that tennis elbow he must have waving that flag.
He's still going. Guy's dedicated.
He is.
All right, so there you have it. Oh, we are totally frozen screens. What's up with that? I've been having the strangest of OBS problems today. Isn't that weird?
Weird.
But we are still here. I still see audio, and you see my smiling face. That has not gone away or changed, so I'm real happy with the way that came out. Would have liked to have not made that big mistake. That was an ugly mistake there at the end, but still managed to. But without a win, we still don't get a T-shirt, I don't think. So that's cool that we're into the finals, but we're still on the quest for the win and the T-shirt itself. Tommy from the Bronx, I want to thank you so much for your multiple donations today to the show. Thank you so much. Thank you for betting on me. And I feel like we're both the big winners, or at least I am. So thanks for that very much. Thank you, everyone, for coming out here. I want to congratulate Elvis Rankin on another win. The guy is just unbeatable, but we're going to keep trying. Anders Slissens probably could have had a good shot at the title tonight, but a few things didn't go his way. He still ended up finishing in third. John Harrison, Jason Goddard rounding out our top 5. And Brian Heitkotter, who definitely could have won the whole thing, a little bad luck. Yeah. He finished in 9th for the end there. So, anyway, with us frozen, it is probably a good time to call it the end of the show. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to Frank Rico of Ricmotech for hosting this great event month after month. Be sure to join us on the third Wednesday, the third hump day for Hotlap Humpday in July. And never know what the car and track will be until we're there. And that's what makes it part of the fun. So thank you for joining. Thank you for our great, great broadcasting team today. And we'll see you next time. This is Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole. And we will all see you on the track next month.